ahead and jump in to Damsels and Dice.
Yes!
I'll go ahead and
that name is growing
skip the weirdo introduction catchphrase.
Yeah, don't do that.
Just ask you, what do you all remember from last time?
Let's look at my notes.
We sold the wine, and we bought some stuff. We did the potions, because last time we played it was like 9 hours straight.
Yeah, oh my god. Okay, so that's why day 6 is so long. Because literally day 6 is, like literally if you look at this, it's 6 pages long.
A lot of
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages long. And I didn't even take all the notes.
Every group has their
I missed them
note-taker.
notes. I missed out on notes.
Wow. Every group has a note taker.
And then
I'm a note taker.
we met Nessie, and she totally like ruined our lives with like telling our future.
I'm going to be a delinquent with tattoos now!
I'm a delinquent.
Yes! We left on my character not deciding yet, but I already told you her decision, But we haven't played through it.
So,
I'm going to put this stuff down here because
essentially, everything that you all said was correct. The adventuring party had moved on from Willends, traveling north to the next city up, about 3.5 days away, to a less of a city, more of a town called Bomberg. Another swamp town village, primarily focusing on livestock and hunting of various swamp creatures. Although, unlike Willends, this place is a little bit more established. There are better residence halls. There are actually a few taverns. One of the party members is actually familiar with Wyatt.
But we don't technically know why.
Technically, you don't know why.
We know, Mackenzie and Sophia know. Because we talked
No.
They
Nora and Talavin
insight.
kinda know.
They have an idea.
Kinda.
I think Nora didn't tell Talavin all of it about, remember? She didn't want to make Wyatt feel uncomfortable.
That does sound like Nora.
She didn't tell him everything.
No.
After you guys arrived, you spent some time perusing the town, primarily going and seeing if you could find various geodes, stones, things useful.
You turned into a
cabbage. Ended up going to the... you all checked in at the Sore Loot Tavern and then went to the Sphinx's Emporium, where you met the owner, the store owner, this kind of heftier dwarven individual with a... interesting personality characteristics.
I liked him.
It was funny.
It was fun.
I would gladly take his money again. For some, well, actually no, I
After
don't think
you all
I would like to risk it
a
again.
myriad of potions, which
We were lucky
thankfully-
there was 3 of us, honestly.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you
Like,
all
what would
managed
have
to
happened to
reverse
us if we had got the
effects.
one that Zoom got?
You would feel aroused.
Oh,
Okay.
that's not...
Highly
I've
aroused.
been
I mean, like,
highly...
highly.
Highly
I
aroused.
wonder what that would look like. Just want to know a
Very,
little
very
bit.
pink
You just turned
cheeks,
red.
Just turn-
very flush.
Yikes. Okay, I don't want to know.
Among
I
other
changed my
things.
mind.
Among other things. Upon leaving the Sphinx's Emporium, both of you noticed the strange contraption outside of the Sorloot Tavern. It appeared like a chandelier with different arches, different pieces, different wires, but instead of places where the candles would reside, there were jars and strange powders on the inside. You went inside and met a new character, Nessie. She introduced herself as Nessie, this human, kind of dark brown hair, shaved on one side, dreads and braids kind of in her hair, wearing a cut-off sleeved white long jacket. Proceeded to have a lovely evening with you two. It seemed like she understood, or at least knew Wyatt and Jacob in some way, acquired some of their wine. And you all spent the evening chatting, having dinner, in which case Nessie challenged you to a game.
Yeah.
A simple game.
And then she kicked our butts.
We lost. Big time.
Rather than try to fight the first
All I have
two,
is
you decided not to fight the
game
first
makes
two.
Nora become very guarded and pale.
In a nutshell, that is what ended up happening. Nessie managed to peg down several very key points about both of you, and seemingly not knowing much about her, you all didn't return the favor, but instead took her up on her offer when she talked about her tattoos.
Because we are still poor even after killing crocodiles.
Well, I mean, I kind of spent a lot of the money.
You have more money than I did.
Yeah.
You're a gambler.
Yes, I did get a lot.
You got gold.
Hey, but look, I got a bunch of good ass shit from that emporium.
Yeah, you got your skills.
I got a bunch of crystals and a healing potion and a bag of holding and a lightning javelin.
Mm-hmm. You got the lightning javelin. Upon accepting this deal, where you would essentially get a tattoo of your choice in exchange for some favor in the future. You're not sure when, you're not sure what it is, but gladly Talavin took her up on the offer. And after delivering Zoom to the room, took you outside and began carving her enchantment into your flesh. Now go ahead and describe the tattoo that you receive from Nessie and which a gemstone do you select?
I gotta pull the picture up real quick because I forgot which one it was.
You chose jade. So
no, I chose sapphire.
Or sapphire, sorry.
For intelligence.
So you chose the sapphire, which is this very dark blue. And you wanted something on your hands, right? You wanted something along your hands and along your chest.
Two. So there was. Okay, that's not the right one. Oops, I just saw it as I was. Okay, so there was two. There was like one, and I'm gonna have it on my right. This is my left arm.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day.
We did a lot of driving.
So I have, it starts about right here on my arm, and it just kind of goes across like the upper part of my arm, and there's a couple figures on my knuckles, but it only goes for about, it's just on like the top part of my arm. There's a small band here, and then there's just like relic symbols, as well as a couple moons facing, like crescent moons facing each other, a line running up. And then two crescent moons encasing each other, facing my, the, whatever this is called, the top of my hand?
Mm-hmm.
The top of my hand? And then I have a couple more lines, with they're like Celtic crosses basically across each one of my knuckles. And then I have one, on each of my fingers on different placements. And then there's a few other like designs that are kind of harder to explain, but then the design's almost replicated on, it starts like in the, whatever this like little part is in your neck.
Your clavicle.
Like right in between your two clavicle bones, and it kind of goes, there's like a swirling design here with like a line that turns into two Celtic crosses here and here, and then the design continues down, and then has two moons here, and then it continues on and ends in an arrow pointing downwards here. Mostly it's just like little Celtic designs. And then the other design that I had is a Viking rune, actually, for the sign of celestial protection that I've had inscribed on my left side as well. And that's it. I don't really know how to explain that one. So we'll probably put like a picture up on the video or something.
The supraesternal notch.
Oh, that's what that's called? I would have never in my life guessed that.
Yeah, the supraesternal notch.
I knew it was something fancy that Madison would know, but I wouldn't.
That's actually a really Esther. Super Esther.
I mean, like literally if you like stab right here, like there's no way to save
Supraesternal.
it. Did you know that?
Yeah, essentially because it's like your like all of your veins are kind of going up in that.
Yeah. They
just
stab
stab
straight
straight
down.
down.
They put the pin there to make you not suffocate.
But you have to get it into the throat, and you can only get it so deep.
Into your trachea.
Oh, okay.
And this one.
Good thing you didn't put time. I need you to make several Constitution saving throws as you begin describing the kind of tattoo that you want to Nessie. She nods and begins muttering this incantation under her breath as she's just humming to herself. What did you get?
18 plus 3 is a 21. So how many do you want me to do?
Okay, so the first little bit, you don't feel anything. You kind of feel the stinging, you kind of feel a little bit of a burn. She advises you not to look at it and that, it'd probably be best if you just kind of looked up. So she, with very little issue, completes your arm.
Okay.
in order for the full enchantment to take effect, a certain percentage of your body does have to be kind of inscribed in this particular kind of ink or gem dust. She begins working on your sternum, on your neck. Go ahead and make another one for me.
Another 18, so 21.
Ooh.
This one goes a little bit faster, as there is, instead of working kind of with more fleshy material, even though it's against bone, even though you can feel it from time to time, just kind of carve. Maybe it was the wine, maybe it's just her skill, you're not sure, but she's doing a very, very good job. She's very quick, and as you listen, there's almost this, almost like a dual voice as she's speaking, as she's carving, as she's applying
she's
this
giving
tattoo.
me like a scar instead of a tattoo, carving into my skin. A little scary.
Isn't this what a tattoo is? Carving into the flesh. She begins onto your side. Go ahead and make one last Constitution saving throw.
16.
16. You feel this one a little bit more as she...
I've actually heard those hurt kind of bad.
She
The wine's wearing off.
touches a little bit too close to one of your ribs, and you kind of feel a little bit of a burning, a little bit of a zinging. And you have to take a couple moments and breathe, and she kind of walks you through it, and you just feel her wiping away some of the blood that gathers against the topical. And just the incantation complete after a couple of hours. You get the sense that she's very, very quick to work, and that she's been doing this for a while. As she begins cleaning her various materials, sets everything back up, she just kind of smiles and she's like, "You think you can make it to your room all right?"
I'm gonna be like,
Rubs her eyes.
absolutely. As I saunter away, not wanting
Hang
to...
on.
Oh god.
You see her kind of
Trying to
rummage
get away.
in the cart for a moment
Oh no.
and pull out of this chest kind of this jar of some kind of white pasty material, and she hands it to you. She's like, if you are experiencing a little bit of pain, or just to make sure that everything is sealed properly, I advise applying this a couple times a day. Just,
What is it?
it's something that'll help.
You don't want to tell me?
She looks over and just kind of cups your face and gives you a couple smacks on the cheek, and she's like, "Go to bed. Make sure to apply that. And tell your little friend, don't worry. I'm sure he's freaking out."
Oh dear. I kind of get this like ghastly look on my face. I'm like, oh shit. And then I just go to my room.
Goes back to cleaning her different supplies. Nora, at this point, you have actually been sitting there for a few hours. Tal'el.
Oh.
You all took Zoom back up to the room, and right before she left, she made eye contact with him on the desk and said, "Don't worry, I'll figure it out." Before leaving.
Okay. I must have missed that or something.
You were in
Technically, you
shock.
weren't there.
Technically, you weren't
Yeah,
there.
technically you
were
weren't there
still in
for that.
shock. But you were still sitting at the table when
Okay.
Wyatt had his discussion with you.
Right. I'm
And
tracking.
Wyatt did end up taking Jacob back up to their room.
I missed their steps. I didn't get to see what it was.
It's rather unfortunate, but you know.
I was unintelligent and didn't see. Not
Absolute
not
disappointment.
perceptive. Okay. It's fine.
You go back inside, and Nora, have you done anything at this particular point in time?
No, she was just kind of thinking about, like, she was still had, like, the 4 shot glasses in front of her and was kind of looking at them, especially the last one. And can I, like, mention that she only, like, took a little sip from the last one because it's, like, symbolic?
Technically, you didn't say that you drank from it.
I didn't?
You didn't say you did. All you did was you were looking at it, and that's when you asked her, "Who are you?"
Yes!
You
Okay,
didn't-
that's what I wanted to do, and then I
You-
thought I messed up. Okay.
No, you didn't say that you drank from it. All you said was, you just look at her and say, "Who are you?"
Okay, good. So I'm still looking at that last shot.
You're looking at that last shot.
Okay, good.
And it's less of a shot and more of a small
Gulp or two.
gulp of wine, essentially. The wine that you all had been drinking, there was only a little bit left, and that's why she ended up suggesting the game in the first place. Where
Sure.
She had poured these things and, threw it out into the ether.
I see. Okay, yeah, she was just kind of looking at the last one and ends up leaving it on the table. Just thinking about it. and then
You watch Talavin go up to your room, unless you.
Actually, I want to stay. I'll stay with, and I'll watch this.
Well, how long? How long do you sit there at the table? Do you sit there for those 2 hours in order to?
Well, doesn't she eventually? She comes out. She said that. She said that she came out while I was getting my tattoo in the last one before we left.
Can I just like sit on the front porch of the place and kind of watching her get the tattoo? Just I'm not gonna say anything so I don't interfere.
Simple enough, yeah.
Just kind of like
you watch her work and you go ahead and make a perception check.
Ha!
And actually, Talavin, you can actually less of a perception, more of an intelligence. More of an intelligence check.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's worse. Okay.
Talavin, you can do one.
7.
An intelligence.
Keep failing.
You keep hearing her talk about. You keep hearing the different incantation. You keep hearing this, and it almost sounds like that dual voice that, as she's saying one thing, it almost sounds like something is laced over top of it. Whatever she's doing, it sounds like you should be able to understand it, both of you, but you, in the moment, you just can't quite make out what it is.
Can I roll an insight check on Nessie?
Sure.
Just as she's like doing her thing, just like
While she's giving a tattoo.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. 19 plus.
You got a natural 19?
Insight. Yes. Insight. 23.
You got a natural 20. Deception.
Boo!
But she acknowledges you. Overall, she's a hard individual to read, but you don't sense that whatever she's doing has any malice in it.
Okay.
As you're watching her as you're watching your cousin get this tattoo, and you keep wondering, like, there's got to be something to this. There's got to be. Like as she's carving this, there's something maybe in the expression of her features, the way that she's working that.
Okay. She's not trying to hide, but
you don't seem. Yeah, she's overall a very hard person to kind of get a read on, especially if she's trying to be deceptive. But I mostly just roll for fun. But for the most part, she seems honest enough.
Okay.
You can't sense that she's trying to deceive you in any way.
Okay, that's good.
Or trying to play some kind of trick.
Alright. I wanted to watch her a little bit before I agreed to any favor in the world.
Mm-hmm. I like that buzzed at the exact same time that you
Saved by the bell. Okay, so yeah, I guess after she's done.
You see Talavin kind of get up, take a second. You see Nessie hand her a jar of some kind of thick, viscous liquid.
Okay.
So you're gonna come up to you.
Yes.
Or both of you.
Okay, yes.
She's just back there cleaning her tools.
Yes.
Sitting.
Is it too late to do another one?
No. Kind of rubs her eyes. What'd you have in mind? She points to the seat on the inside of this large chandelier-like device.
I sit down. Well, I spent the last couple of hours looking at Pinterest and came up with this.
Technically, it was on Facebook.
Oh, okay. She found my tattoo.
You want to look at it?
Oh, I took a picture of it.
Where do you want it?
I want this on my back.
You're gonna have to shimmy out of your top there a little bit.
That's fine. I would like a very special tree that looks like this.
You begin describing.
Picture
this.
I'm describing it. Can I like just turn it? Like I don't know. I can't think of a cool way to describe.
Let me think. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is it copyright?
If we show the picture, it might be. I don't know who designed this. You begin describing this particular kind of tree. You remember there was a symbolism. Whenever you were talking with Jasper in the past, there's this symbolism kind of associated with different trees. And then you remember there's this one particular tree that has special meaning for you. And then there's also something else that has special meaning for you and him. And you kind of, you struggle with the words a little bit, but she kind of sits back and she folds her fingers and she just kind of listens, nods her head, and so she's like, I think I've got it. And she lays you over on your front.
And it has a pool at the bottom. A reflective pool.
I can do that.
I don't say it like that, sorry.
I can do it.
It has a pool.
And she's like, what dust?
Jade. Blue jade, if you have it.
Is that the one you wanted? Yeah, Jade.
Yeah,
For
looks-
wisdom.
Just a little bit left. Let's make it count. And she takes the tubes, she takes the different pieces and begins setting it up. She's screwing it into different elements. She hooks it up to the pedal. When she sits down, she's like, you might feel some pinches, you might feel some stings. If you're going to go unconscious, make sure that you just keep breathing.
I think I can manage.
And you hear this.
How do I take my shirt off? I'm wearing an armor dress?
Mm-hmm. Essentially, like you would take off your armor and then you have clothing underneath, essentially, and then you would just like pull up the back of your shirt.
Okay.
And it's in the early morning hours. It's probably.
I thought that was late. I thought that was nighttime.
Well,
like by the time you finished yours, like you all finished probably like around
So no
midnight
sleep
or
time?
so.
That's fine. I'm not that tired.
oh, I'm going to sleep.
I'm too scared to go to sleep. You're gonna stay up all day.
By the end, I'm not going to be able to sleep.
She's gonna kill me. You got the tattoo. She's gonna kill me. She's got the tattoo. She's gonna kill me.
Do you stay and watch your cousin, or do you go
Yeah.
back to your room? Okay, so you stay. She begins carving. She begins kind of with a simple outline. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Ah!
This is about to hurt.
6. You feel the cold needle kind of being pressing into your skin,
Just tense.
and you feel it just send a nerve up your
it's
spine.
oozing into my...
And you feel
Literally.
she makes that first line. And you just feel a shiver go through your entire body, and you begin seeing stars. And your vision begins becoming pinpoint.
Damn.
I need you to make another Constitution save.
There's stars in my
Constitution
tattoo, so I
saving
should see them.
Damn, son.
9.
9. With that, with a simple exhalation,
Ooh, damn.
Oh gosh.
you
Make a
slip into
Huh?
unconsciousness.
I don't want anyone to see.
Can I make like a perceptual, like, do I see that she's like
You
passed out?
you see her body tense, and you just watch her arms go lax at her sides.
Man.
You watch her head, and you're sitting on, like, she has this device so that you can like lay on it and wouldn't display anything. So you're laying on this device, and you just watch her kind of go limp in this device.
This is exactly how it would happen in real life. Like, you would be fine.
This is exactly
You'd be
how-
like, oh,
You have
three.
you're like 3 different areas.
Completely pass out.
Yeah,
This is one line. Ugh.
This is, I'm squeamish, okay? I know.
And then Madison would be in between. She'd be like half passed out, like
She'd be
half
like,
falling on consciousness.
It was fine.
She begins carving this intricate design. The branches twist up. They curl. Some of them almost look like they're moving. And as you watch, it almost looks like it has a life of its own. Sometimes it looks like the branches are twitching. Ever so slightly.
It's my nerve spasms.
She swirls some of the vines, she curls others, she places different dots along the edges where the leaves or budding flowers would be. Along the top is adorned with different celestial bodies, stars, a few constellations. Woven into the upper branches of the tree. And along the top, in an arc, is the moon cycle. All the way across.
Do I have a dream while I'm passed out? Sorry.
Yikes.
We'll get to that.
Oh. Am I gonna have to carry her upstairs? God.
She carves down along your spine. keeping that point as the symmetrical point, and begins curling the roots, begins weaving them in and out, almost like a Celtic symbol. And in between the weave of the roots in this Celtic symbol is a simple pool. Looks like it shimmers a little. And you watch, as you're watching this, you look at your own, and you can swear that some of the symbols are moving. Is it sleep deprivation? Is it the exhaustion of the day? Is it the wine?
I don't know.
Your skin is
It's
crawling.
fascinating.
Literally.
She finishes.
You described that very well. That was very nice. It's like exactly. That's like exactly.
I should have
what
had her
said.
describe mine. Heck. Describe mine.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Don't worry.
I'm not worried. I'm just passed out stuff.
And make another Constitution saving throw.
I get a 1. No, we're going to 18.
18.
Not the 1.
Neither one.
Not the 1.
You were pulled into unconsciousness, and you begin seeing that archway.
No.
And you hear, be careful. And before it can fully manifest, before you can reach that point, you smell this strong, you inhale this pungent bundle of herbs that just sets your teeth on edge. As you inhale, Nessie has a box of what looks like these various dried herbs on the inside. She's like, there we go.
And I walk over and I'm like, what are those?
Something you don't need to worry about. And she closes it and places it back in a pouch in her bag. And she's like, how are you feeling?
Like I got a tattoo and passed out. That's how I feel.
You're going to want
I kinda
your
chuckle.
cousin to put some of this, and she takes another jar of whatever interesting substance this is and hands it to you.
I'll find someone that knows what this is.
Thank you. We were just licking the pungent taste.
Yeah.
You can still feel your teeth on edge. Just, your back is sore. Your spine is a weird sensation of almost being too hot, but also very cold. You feel like you've been packing and lifting, and yet like you've been standing next to a hot furnace for most of the day. And you'd be very familiar with this sensation. That fine balance between burning and ice. Oh, that's gonna be sore if you try and sleep on your back.
No.
And she's like, let me apply the first one. She dips her hand into this material and it kind of goops onto her hand. She's like, this is going to feel a little weird. And she applies it to your back. It's cold and instantly sends this shock through your lungs. You kind of breathe, and then it gets warm. And it's smooth and it's soothing, and in the places where it almost feels too hot, the material makes it feel cold. Where the areas are giving you cold chills, it warms you up. And she applies it all along your back. And she's like, this will help seal everything and she helps lay your shirt back over your...
No, that's much better. Thank you.
Be sure to apply that multiple times. If it peels, it's fine. If it starts peeling off, that's a problem. I've never had that happen, but there's a first time for everything.
There's a first.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm going to get a little bit of sleep. I'm going to clean my things. And she kind of looks at both of you. Remember that favor.
Would you like some form of writing?
Oh no, I'll remember.
Well, I will as well.
I mean, don't think I could forget.
Yes.
She like signed her name at the bottom, like you owe me a favor.
Tattoos. It's just a tramp stamp.
Owe me a favor.
That's what Wyatt and Jacob's tattoo is.
Nessie!
Property of Nessie.
Nessie.
A favor is owed.
Pay your debts.
Hilarious, there always pays his debt. Oh, wrong fantasy.
Both of you, slightly sore, aching, ascend the stairs, go back into the Sore Loot Tavern. and go to your room, where Zoom is. You see him just curled up under the blankets, passed out. He's just so happy right now. You can see he has a little bit of smile on his face, and there's just a little bit of drool.
What is he dreaming about that he's always
I
smiling?
want to know.
I don't think
so I gotta get in this man's head.
You don't want to get in everyone's head.
I want to know what people think.
I want to get in your dream.
I want to know.
I want to get in your dream. Get your dream.
Definitely need to get in Mackenzie's dream. I don't even know what this man looks like.
No. It's fine.
At which point, as you all kind of come in, you kind of sit down on your separate beds, you hear a small voice of your sprite companion. And you hear him say, "Who was that?" As he peers out from behind the nearby candlestick, which has been illuminated. You guess it's because of her.
Technically, we don't really know, but
It's not reassuring.
apparently she was a friend, or she is a friend of Jacob and Wyatt's. Apparently they've come in contact with her a few times from what we could tell. But she did have a message for you. She said, what did she say? I forgot to write it down. It was like, shit. I wrote down the other part.
She would take care of it.
No, that's what she said. She said, I'll try to see what I can do. And then I forgot to write down the other part because I was...
That's unfortunate.
I wasn't.
She said, tell your companion not to worry.
Tell your little friend not to worry.
That's what you said.
It is?
She just makes you swirl.
No, her face! Look at her face! It's her face, Madison! I knew
I didn't do anything. Yeah, that's exactly what she said. You see him fold his arms. He looks a little bit unnerved still. Nods.
Hey, all I know is she knew stuff about me that I don't even know sometimes. It was crazy.
She seems like a good person to have on our side.
Yeah, I'd rather have her with me than against me, that's for sure.
I don't think her intentions were malicious.
Neither do I. Neither do you concur on that. I'm glad you're back safe.
Yeah, exhausted, honestly.
A little worse for wear on my bit.
She passed out.
And you can actually see him kind of grin, which is one of the first few times that you've seen him actually express kind of a smile. Kind of nods and he's like, ghastly things that certainly will send you into a tizzy.
Yes. It's kind of like Winston, like, well, is there anything you need before we turn in?
No, I'm alright. Are you expecting anyone else, or do you know how long we're going to be staying here? Looks both of you.
Can we pay for 3 nights?
We did, but that doesn't matter too much. I'm thinking about that one chick. That I've already forgotten her name. I kind of regret inviting her.
Oh, Adriel.
Adriel.
I mean, we can always like...
Ditch her. I mean, no. That would be wrong.
I mean, like, we could always like... We could always like go help Tal'el. We could always come back. Like, we don't have to like... just skirt out.
Okay.
A day, we might, meander a little bit tomorrow, see what in the morning, but then after that, we could always, it might honestly be faster if just me, you, and Tal'el went. Because then we could just take my horse. We could just take Warrior. I don't mean to say him, but Then the adults will leave us.
You see him
two
stretch
people.
under the covers.
We live so.
One arm
gonna
just
get
kind
a
of
horse,
rests
damn it.
above his head.
He could
I
use
wonder
the
if
room.
Jacob and Wyatt will let us borrow a horse. Just for Zoom for a couple
No,
of
he
days.
can stay in the room and like do something.
I know, but I don't want to leave him by himself. What if somebody's mean to him?
He needs to toughen up.
Anyways, he just kind of was like partially watching this exchange.
I forgot that
We've
was
bickered like this for years.
Right.
Anyways, we're gonna turn in. We'll talk about it in the morning. Well, when we wake up.
I feel so guilty. That was my kids. I feel so guilty because we're carrying out from this thing. So we can go shopping and get tattoos.
Look, okay.
He kind of startled when you say that, and you hear him groan and roll over. He kind of looks a little bit startled when you say that.
Oh, I didn't say that. That was Kinsey.
No, you said look.
Oh, because
I said that was Mackenzie.
that was Mackenzie. That was Sophia saying.
Sorry. It's hard to tell when we all are speaking into the ether.
We're just kind of talking to the universe sometimes. It happens.
You can tell you're anxious to get going, so
No, it's
head out.
it's not that.
What is it?
Make a persuasion check.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
13 plus 4, 17.
Huh? There's something in, and you both have prompted him in the past, and he's a relatively reserved individual. He's mostly conversed with Zoom at this particular point in time, and so upon
Zoom's also the only one that can't tell any secrets.
But we don't know.
He didn't know to me. What?
You wake up.
That was not Ken.
Or was it? What?
What does he do?
He looks at you both, and you can kind of see that initial blossoming of trying to open up and trying to convey different things while also trying to keep himself in check. Like, not that he's trying to keep secrets in that way. That's not the vibe you're getting from him specifically, since you rolled the insight check. But you rolled persuasion, but he's
To get him to talk to him.
stands there and
Oh, God.
yeah, it's a little bit loud.
I can
It's
hear it.
loud.
It's a little bit loud.
It's cold here.
Like, I'm more worried about what I might find when we arrive.
What do you mean? Like a monster? Or more creatures?
I don't know what attacked our village that night.
So do you think we might need more than just the three of
I
us?
don't know. That's the problem. You see his hands kind of run through his hair, and he kind of pulls at some of the small braids at the back of his head, and he's like, all I know is that we've been under attack before. And we've been able to handle these things before, otherwise we would not set up encampments here in the Primaterial Plane. We've always had civilizations here. That's not the issue. The issue is that it seemed organized. If a group of crocodiles attacks, they're easy enough to fend off because they're not as astonishing of climbers as people seem to believe they are. But we simply go higher or burrow within the trees. If gnolls attack, they get frustrated easily and go on their way. This seemed deliberate.
And you said they were human-like?
They looked human to me when I was flying away with the others. Everyone.
Can you give an estimate of how many you might have seen?
at least 6. They were all wearing dark clothing. They were wearing hoods. I didn't get a good look at
Hoods.
their faces. It seemed organized, and that is what has me so unnerved. Is because whatever it is that's going on, they obviously either had information, were well hidden, were well protected. We shouldn't
Was
have
there
been found
anybody
so
missing?
easily. No.
Anybody that had been missing beforehand?
No. Not from us. But if another civilization, if another village was attacked, and someone who had information about where the others were, they might have let that slip. You can see now his body kind of goes through a shudder. It's like they have ways of making, anyone has ways of making others talk. I mean, even I have various methods that I can employ to aid in that. His arms are very, very tight. He hasn't made eye contact.
I'm gonna nudge Talavin a little bit. Hopefully not on her tattooed side. I'm gonna be like, ha! I'm like, do you have the pendant from the assassins that we...
Yeah.
Right?
It was the,
Yeah. Do you pull it out?
yeah. What did that look like?
That's okay. If you pull it out, then we can show it to him.
Yeah, I'll pull it out. There we go.
Okay. Did you see any symbols that look like this?
Most of it. He shakes his head.
Rats.
No? I mean, I didn't get a good look.
To group
I mean,
of sets.
by the time I realized what was going on, and by the time I gathered what supplies I could, I was trying to... I mean, I'm the master poisoner from where I was. And I was trying to supply arrows, dip swords, do what I could, and then suddenly people weren't coming down for these supplies, and that's why I went up, and then it's whenever it gets kind of quiet again. All I know is that we should not have been hidden. Our defenses were penetrated. It seems more organized, and that's what has me afraid. Because if they have someone else like me, or someone else who's aware of some of the other civilizations, some of the other villages, who's to say that if we go to this next area, who's to say it's not already wiped out? Who's to say that any of them aren't already wiped out? Or maybe they're not.
I mean, if it is already wiped out, what would you do after that? Not to be harsh.
You see, like, his wings, which were kind of taut, and the faster he was talking, the more he was kind of getting himself in a tizzy. His wings were kind of vibrating, and they just slump now against his back, and he just kind of shakes his head and says, "I don't know. There are certain protections in place, and if such as something like a scrying stone, or specific communications were set up, if this is indeed organized, if someone managed to get a hold of that information, they could easily prompt someone like me to convey messages to the others."
Is there a way you can contact the other?
I'm not arcane. I specialize in alchemy and poisons and potions. I know this, and that's whenever he snaps his fingers and snuffs the candle. He snaps his fingers and it comes back, and it's like, that's about all I know about the arcane. And even that was a trick. It was an inborn thing. Of all of my siblings, I was the only one to not inherit this. Which is why I dedicated myself to other crafts.
I see. Well, in that case...
I don't know what we're going to find, and that's why I'm so hesitant in asking, because you all could be doing all of this for nothing. At that point, you can kind of see he tries his wings again. He almost gets, a half an inch above before he looks nervously and lands again, just shakes his head. Like, I'm incapable of traveling on my own.
How fast can warrior fly?
I mean, pretty fast.
Just with one person?
Yeah, I mean, he could fly with 2 people, but I mean, it would be slower.
Flying would be faster than walking. We could both go and just fly.
I know, but then there would only be the 2 of us.
He's a 90-foot fly speed. So it's essentially triple. Roughly.
So instead of taking
3 days, it would take a day.
A day.
Give or take.
But it would only but he probably wouldn't be able to with me and her both on his back. It would probably be
It would probably reduce his speed because it depends how much you bring with you.
Ooh.
Do you bring all of your equipment? Do you just bring yourself?
Well, I mean, we wouldn't need everything if we were just going to bring us 2, because then we'd have to leave Zoom here.
I don't know. I could try to get on Warrior's back and do my disc thing and like, phew!
Like, that would be really dangerous.
It only stays a couple feet off the ground, so he would just be like on the ground, like hitting everything. Oh man, why is this hard?
You don't inconvenience yourselves. I mean, I'm overly appreciative of everything you've done so far, and I haven't. And even when we make it there, I still have my end of the bargain to fulfill to you. In exchange for this favor, I teach you a few things I know. About potion making, about poisons.
How much gold you got left?
Gold? Like 800-ish.
I have like a side question real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So that potion we tried earlier, that fire breath potion,
Mm-hmm.
so like when you drink that, obviously you don't get fire breath forever.
Mm-hmm.
But like, do you just use it once? Like, is it just like a one
The
time?
size of the vials, usually potions come in kind of this larger jug kind of container. But the ones that you were trying were vials, very, very thin vials. A potion of fire breath would usually have 3 charges. You gather that based on that size, it's probably a single charge.
For 750 gold? Hell no.
Too much. Potions are expensive.
Potions are very expensive. You all lucked out when it came to some of these.
Yeah. No, they lucked out. Well, in this case, we should probably leave him.
Get some rest, really. He kind of looks guilty now and he's like, whatever is easier for all of you. I'm along for the ride. I just wish I knew more information. I wish I could be more helpful.
I mean, it kind of is what
He
it
kind of
is.
walks to the side and
Can
he
I
sits.
do a history check to see if I remember? Are there any like arcane spells or not spells, potions in the place in the sarcophagus something? For arcane like telepathy or like checking in on things. Does that make sense?
You didn't come across any potions like that. No.
Okay. Fair enough. It'd probably be like a really rare potion. Anyway.
Yeah, you didn't come
like
across
spying, scrying.
Yeah, you didn't come across anything like that.
I was just curious.
Yeah, you don't have to roll for them. It happened earlier that day, you'd remember.
Okay.
You're talking about the Sphinx Emporium?
Yeah. What, did I call it sarcophagus?
Yes. That's why I was so confused.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
you call
what
it
is she
sarcophagus.
talking about?
Oh, it's saying
Nani?
general
Nani?
geological
I wrote
area.
Nani in my notes. What is that? What does this
Why
mean?
did
Why did I write Nani?
I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll discuss it more in the morning. And go to sleep.
He's
Not on my back.
He snaps his fingers and it snuffs out the candle.
I put some of that white paste on my tattoos before I go to sleep.
It's for the better. As you all were sitting there talking with Tal'el, it started kind of tingling a little bit, and you're like, I'm not rolling over on that in the middle of the night.
I'm doing it too.
I'm gonna put some more on her back. For me.
Yeah. You put a little bit more on, you lay on your front, and both of you eventually drift off into sleep. Talavin,
I'm so scared.
do you drift off to sleep?
Yeah.
I like sit there like panicking for a little while before it finally
I don't
just
want to sleep.
consumes me. Oh my god, this was huge.
This is gonna be a good one. Alright, that.
Literally my
sure?
heart is like
Are you sure?
pounding. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, I am sure.
I know, I always have to check.
I am sure. I am sure. Quit messing with me, I'm sure.
It's okay, sweetie.
You drift off into sleep. And you feel that
I know that's commonly usually when I wake up in this dream. I'm like, oh, fuck, no.
you feel this gentle breeze brush over your skin. You open your eyes, and you are once again by that oh so familiar lake. You see endless stars above you. It's that perfect dark blue sky, that silhouetted tree line, the mountain range, the perfect still lake. There's nothing.
I don't relax. I like start looking around. I'm like, oh god. And then I'm
You can make a perception check if you want.
okay. With disadvantages for shaking hands.
You're a meanie.
Oh no.
Do I get advantage for shaking hands? Is that what you said?
Yeah. I can't count now.
What is it?
14.
14?
Yeah.
You don't see anything in your nearby vicinity. You look across the lake. No eyes. You look behind you. Listen with your keen ears.
It's like I want to start walking into the forest, but I feel like I'm gonna get fucking sick. She was come up behind me like, oh god, where are you going?
You don't
I'm just
hear
gonna go.
anything, you don't see anything, and always there's been a presence there. There's always been something there to greet you when you've come into this place. Now there's nothing.
Okay, well, that's okay. I'm a big girl. I can meditate by myself.
Be in the woods at
I
night by
can
myself.
be in the dark woods by myself. Or I can just, I don't know, sit here and concentrate on my life decisions and what they're gonna cost me when Bay and Malik see them. Okay,
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
fuck. 10.
You're dealt 6 points of lightning damage as leaping up from the tops of the trees.
Yikes.
As she lands, there's this seizing of the earth as the electric currents from her body dive into the ground. You watch it spark toward you, and there's just this sinking pit in your middle, and you know that you can't dodge it.
But I don't step backwards.
No,
I stand my ground.
there's no time to step backwards.
Good, 'cause I
There's only
don't.
enough time to look and see who is now picking a fight with you. As the electricity seizes in your body and the wind is just knocked out of you, and you can feel all along the tattoos, you almost feel parts of the edges of the skin kind of curling slightly as you're like, oh gosh, there's this throbbing in your arm and your chest.
I regret all my life
side.
decisions.
Decide to have a little fun, did we?
I kinda
Faye steps up. She trots up, kind of stares at you, her electric eyes. Those swirling orbs, she stares at you with these stormy eyes. And she circles around you once, twice, 3 times. Even before you can catch her leaving one side, she's already on the other. She looks up at you and she just has this look of
Well, my mother had tattoos.
sadistic joy.
Oh God.
Oh, she's like, Your mother asked for permission before slathering her body in arcane marks.
We're in trouble.
I have no comment for that.
She sits. You didn't even get anything to acknowledge me. You didn't get anything to acknowledge Malak. You only acted in selfishness. She looks up and she kind of looks at it. She does see the celestial one. She's like, so you just didn't like me, is that it? And she begins circling you. Round and round and round.
In my mind, I'm very scared, but I have a brave face.
You're still by the edge of the lake and you can watch. As she swirls around you, you see her reflection in the water. Little flecks of electricity.
I want to say something super funny, but like, I'm gonna get fucking shocked. So it's like, I can't say anything to like back.
Well?
Do
you not like me? Would you rather if I just went away and didn't do anything else for you?
Absolutely not. I love you in my own sense of terrified joy.
Make another dexterity.
I love you.
I love you in my own terrified joy sort of way. 17.
You managed to leap away from the water, which is a boon to you.
How did I get so close to the water?
You didn't leave the edge of the lake. You always wait by the edge of the lake. You didn't leave. So you thankfully, when you dodge out of the way, you don't plunge yourself into the motionless water. But you are dealt another 12 points of electric damage. As you feel it seizing through your gut. Your wind is just knocked out of you. You can feel as if the electricity is carving abs into your torso. It's an amazing feeling.
It's fine. Abs are good.
Burn. If it didn't make you want to double over. Are we having fun yet? I bet you were having fun whenever you were intoxicated and living the moment. Do you even know what kind of favor it is that this Nessie is going to be asking of us?
You know, I always forget that she can literally hear everything that's going on in my head and it's going on in the real world.
You get scolded.
I really like because I just literally don't think. I don't think. I'm like, I just want to do it. I just want to do it.
Yeah. And then.
And yet you have no self-restraint. She just stalks around you. You're probably too sore. You probably can't even train right now, can you?
Of course I can. I step forward towards her.
Uh-oh.
See that ghoul?
It's totally like the gleaming spirit whenever like
in the side of her mouth and she's like, oh really? Make another dexterity saving throw.
Why do you coax her?
Oh, 22.
You managed to partially dodge, only absorbing 2 damage.
Yes!
As this time, on your
11 points damage left!
even on your uninjured shoulder, you take a moment, you're getting ready to dive, and you just know. And you roll on your injured shoulder. And thankfully, there's no dirt to smear into the wounds. But you definitely feel this throbbing pain once again. You shake it off and you tumble and you land again on your feet, only a little bit of electricity managing to seize hold in your form.
Your tattoos are gonna be gone in the morning. She's gonna
electrify them completely off and it's just gonna be like lightning bolts up and down my arm. That's better. I'm like, fuck.
You've been marked again.
There's just like a giant lightning bolt down the middle of my chest.
Along your abs, it just looks like there's lightning just curling out of them.
Hey, look. Lightning abs, bro.
She sits up. There's been something on your mind, hasn't there? You see her sit up and kind of take this more leisurely approach.
There's been a few things on my mind recently.
Oh, please enlighten me. She begins pacing back and forth, back and forth.
Like going back.
What have you been thinking? Come on, verbalize it. I'm not always a mind reader. I can only watch.
No comment on that one?
Probably better.
Madison not this sassy in real life? Like, I don't understand. She needs to be this sassy in real life. I don't know how to like explain it in words. I want to learn more healing spells. Like, I have healing hands, but I just feel like, especially after our already just few encounters with creatures, a crocodile, literally one, we all like almost died. And then I'm not going to say that because it's going to get really tricky. Could you help me learn more healing spells?
Not necessarily my specialty. I thought you wanted to protect. To protect is to be on the offensive. To protect is to be able to
But also
charge
to be able
forward.
to save, I have to be able to heal.
It's a defensive.
It can also be helpful.
I didn't say it couldn't be helpful, but I thought you wanted a piece of the action. I thought you wanted to tear out the throats of your enemies. At least you managed to do so with, what was his name? The poor sap who lost his whole family.
Nicholas.
I believe you're mispronouncing it. It's Nicholas. There we are.
He was a bully. I have no regrets.
And that is why I'm confused. If you have no regrets about charging into battle, why do you want to take a defensive action? Why do you want to try and help others? Wouldn't it be better to be strong? Wouldn't it be better to be on the offensive, to nip it in the bud, as it were? Go ahead and take care of the problem before it has a chance to seize the opportunity to hurt others.
I'm listening quite intently now.
You
I
can
this
only
line
do
of
that
thought.
if you're strong! I need you to make another dexterity saving throw.
Oh
Oh,
no. 21.
no. Not bad.
At 21, you only take 7 points of lightning.
Or she's got like some serious light, like she's up there rolling like fucking 20, 25 fucking years. How many hit points do I have left?
Like 1?
Like 4.
4.
Keeping track?
Of course I am. I know how far.
She doesn't care. She just only cares the fuck out of me and then just save me back the one
I
hit point.
need you to give a better answer. Why do you want to learn something defensive if what you desire is to attack?
Man, that's a hard one.
Yeah, that's a really hard one.
Intermission, just...
Intermission. I need to like lift my brain. Man. Can you repeat it, please? Negative 150 points of electric damage.
If you so long to be the protector, if you so long to charge into battle, to take the offensive, why would you learn such a defensive move? Why would you take a step back?
What if I need to take a step forward in order to save someone? If I want to protect people...
To take a step forward is to move past the other members of whatever troop you may be traveling with, in order to take the initiative, in order to be at the forefront, to go and seize those throats that you so crave. Why would you step back? Let me see your pace back.
God, this is so...
I'm glad it's not me.
See, this is why I can't talk to Madison outside of this, because then she gets more ideas, and I get less of them. Well, she said she's not good at healing spells anyway, so I might as well just learn some lightning spells.
There's a very simple answer, and I'm surprised you haven't figured it out. Come along! I'm growing impatient with you.
I'm growing impatient with me!
looks up. Your mother had an answer. She begins
Well, my
pacing.
mother had an answer for everything, and it got her killed.
Did it?
Didn't it?
She kind of looks over and kind of gives you this look. You see her turn once again. You see the electricity beginning to build. She says, "Why do you want to learn something defensive if you only desire to attack? What good is it if I'm training you?"
And then I don't have to use it on someone else. I can use it on myself to continue going forward.
So you're weak.
I stab myself in the throat in my dream.
Do you?
No!
Oh, that would be interesting.
In my own dream. In my own life. What are you talking about? 4 hit points? Absolutely not.
You don't think that you're strong enough? You don't think that you're going to be able to move forward? You're going to have to take a step back, to take a step forward? Where's the strength in that? Where's the honor in that? Why learn something defensive if you only wish to plunge yourself into battle to protect?
I just wanted to help others.
Oh no!
All my hit points are going down the drain! I can't stand it!
Make a perception check.
Oh god. I don't know a motherfucking thing.
What's your
My
number?
perception's actually pretty high,
What's your
so
number?
fuck that 3. It's 9. I don't know anything. I get the 10 points.
You say this, I just wanted to help people. And then you hear it. That deep, gentle, caressing voice emerging from the darkness.
Oh, my word, it's just evaporated in my entire soul!
From directly behind you. You feel it. You feel the breath on the top of your head.
You have no idea that air just left my entire body.
And you hear him say, "It's one of her more charming features."
I kind of look back at him and I'm
You can see.
slightly non-amused look.
You didn't see him. You see his eyes, that silvery blue flame licking on the sides. See, he looks at bay and you can tell he's smiling. As he looks down at you, had a bit of a rough day.
I'm absolutely peachy.
Don't lie. You're hurt.
I'll be fine.
You feel, as he's still standing behind you, you feel his magnificent wolf lips press against the back of your neck, and you feel this, like standing in a warm, almost too hot shower, this energy just pour over your body. You're back up to your full hit points. He looks up and begs, like, "You coddled her too much. She needs to have a better answer than I just wanted to help people." You feel his head kind of nudge the top of your head. Not in an aggressive way, but playful affection. But she doesn't know any better. He looks and he's like, "We'll be back. Take a moment. Talavin, come." You shuffle quickly behind him, leaving.
I take a good glance over my shoulder.
You see her stalking off in the woods. As you begin slowly walking around the lake. He's quiet for a while. You say anything?
I've missed you.
You see him kind of falter in one of his steps as he continues on. "I have also missed your company. It's been too long and I apologize for my absence."
I understand. You probably have very important things to do.
I should be focusing more on your training. Which, Bay does bring up a good point.
I kind of like, just kind of like,
You see him stop as you've been tracking along his shoulder, and you actually get accidentally one step ahead of him. And as you kind of look back, he's looking you just calmly in the eyes, and he says, "Well, talk to me. Why do you want to heal? Why do you want to protect? What was it about her question that has you so stumped?"
well,
He begins walking again.
it's like I want to be the one at the front of the battle, and I want to be the one, protecting people, but at the same time, I don't only want to be seen as the fighter and the one that's at the front, as she said, ripping people's throats out, which only happened once.
And yet it has happened in your mind far more times than you would care to admit. And that's alright, because you did not act upon them.
Just once. But I want to be seen as a healer as well as a protector.
There are ways to do such things, yes. The answer you were seeking, and should electrify me if I gave you the answer. The answer is simply, you said you wanted to protect your comrades. How can you do that if they're on the ground?
I heal.
It was just what I said earlier. Sort of. It was just more.
Damn it.
Like an exam, exactly.
That was Sophia being pissed off at herself.
And spelling.
It seems like if you're at the forefront of battle, you can rise forces and plunge them further into battle.
What do you mean, rise forces?
By healing them.
So then,
He keeps walking. You're about
but
halfway
she said that I would have to go backwards in order to heal people.
She'd say that, wouldn't she?
Everything is backwards.
You would have to halt certain parts of your training. Because the path that you've chosen now is to plunge yourself deeper into seeking answers, into fighting, into earning the information that you seek. By taking a moment to devote yourself to something else. It could be beneficial, yes. But it would mean many more hours of studying. Possibly away from this place.
Where would I go?
You can see the wolf lips curl into a smile as he kind of pants for a second. Somewhere else. You can see his gleaming white teeth, perfectly aligned.
Would you be there?
Depends. There are a few who understand such arts, but I am not one of them. You would have to go to someone more important than me. As he continues walking.
Who would that be?
He kind of looks over. You're asking for who I serve. This is a first.
I never thought you served anyone.
You think too highly of me. No. I am one of many. Soldiers at the forefront. Guardians. Seekers of knowledge and wisdom. Protectors. In our own right.
Is that why you took an interest in me?
Nods.
So if I chose to go on this different path, would my training with Bay, is that what would be halted?
I I sense relief flooding in your mind.
Only a little.
No, you would have to make time for everything.
I can do that.
It looks... So you're asking for who I serve?
A nod. Yes.
This name is going to be important, but I'm not there. Anyway, I'm gonna sneak in your dream, okay?
Okay. I sneak into yours all the time. It's okay.
Do you want to go ahead and reset the camera? With the pause?
Illustrate.
Spell that.
Illustrate. In the
That's
common
spell.
in the common tongue, it is inscribed EILISTRAEE. Illustrate. Your father was actually familiar with this particular deity and did not have a chance to fully introduce you as it would have come on your 15th naming day.
Of course.
Unfortunate as it is, she is the one who
Oh, she. Definitely wrote down him.
She is the one who I essentially report to. The one who I discuss things with.
And what kind of deity is she?
One of beauty, one of song, freedom, moonlight, the sword and the hunt. She is known as the Dark Maiden, the Lady of the Dance, the Lady of the Silver Hair. She's not as well known in these particular lands, but beneath, among your father's people. She is well respected by those who do not follow other deities.
You mean like the spider lady?
Don't utter that too loud here, she might hear you. The question is, what kind of path do you seek? Do you seek to fight for her? Do you seek to channel your energy through her in order to achieve this goal of yours, that desire in your heart? His eyes,
would
still
do
looking by his eyes.
whatever was necessary.
Hardly an answer. What does your heart tell you?
I hardly know what my heart tells me anymore.
He steps forward and he actually knocks his forehead against yours. This massive wolf form. Just his forehead encompasses the majority of your torso. As he bonks. Not enough to cause damage.
I was going to say 5, -5 in blast. I deserved that. -5 because now I had 4.
Okay, that's funny. That's a little funny.
Just thrashes you into the ground. Perhaps you should think on it. And don't antagonize Bay.
You mean you don't enjoy me getting electrocuted? It's kind of funny.
Perhaps to you it's odd, but it's her way of showing affection.
I love affection.
I'm sure you do. You all have made it, finally, to the other side of the pool, as he has described this. You don't see Babe,
Oh, she's gone?
but you hear her. Somewhere in the woods.
You see a giant fire raging. When could I start training?
When you make up your mind. Take some time. Think it over. This is not something you enter into lightly. And this is something that perhaps you pray to her about. I can hardly put in a good word.
I mean, you're not her favorite?
She already has her chosen favorites.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. How did you come to serve her?
I always have. Since my creation.
When was that?
Long before you, little one. You can see his eyes brighten as he chuckles.
Sorry, that was Sophia. She can't help it. It just comes out sometimes.
He sits and lays before you, paws crossed. And you've a lot to think about.
So we're not training tonight?
I think...
I'll go back now.
I think it would be best if you took some time to contemplate something and perhaps have a better answer for Bae when she comes back to you. I'll have a talk with her. See what we can hash out.
You don't need to put in a good word for me. I can handle it.
He actually snorts a laugh. I'm like, yes. As you were handling it right by this large pool of water, yes. You were completely handling it. As he stands again. Looks
I've only died twice, okay? It feels great being brought back to life.
I'm sure it does. Think about what you want. Because only you can choose your path. I'm here to help guide you in the ways that I can. But know that deviating from one path sometimes divides your strengths. Sometimes makes you weaker. I'm not here to advocate for one way or the other. Divide yourself too many times and you end up falling apart. Know where your strengths lie. Devote yourself to them. If you wish to throw yourself into the fray, you might want to say something to Bae before you leave. If you wish to heal, if you wish to understand this, the one I serve, take a moment, meditate, see what comes to you. You've barely tried it. They do look nice.
That's Sophia. That was.
Just kind of curious a little bit.
I didn't know. I wanted to get something for you and Bae, but I didn't know what to get.
Looks, mark of his celestial is good enough for me. Although I'm afraid you have hurt her feelings.
Yes. Oh,
Perhaps if you inscribe a little lightning into one of the runes, that would make her feel better. And gives you a little head nod. It's in sleep. Actual sleep. Think. We'll leave you alone for the time. And when you're ready, call. And you know wherever I am.
Oh God!
I'll be with
To the sickness!
inside your mind.
And with that, you stretch. You reach up. You feel your arm aching. And just as you open your eyes, you see, again, the flaming eyes shift. And right as you open your eyes, you see the form shifting into something new.
Go to sleep! Go to sleep! Go to sleep! I need like a sleeping potion. Sleeping potions don't work on me!
Oh, Nora.
I get one tonight?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're up for it?
Are you up for it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We only drove 6 hours for this, Madison.
6 hours for this. Oh, I want to see Jasper now. Jasper now.
I want my money and I want it now!
I'm sleeping like a good girl.
Lean back and cool. Oh, no, you actually lean forward. Cool. And it's amazing. As you press your face into the pillow, you smell home. Exhaustion had almost taken your body, and you slip immediately into that in-between world. And you look around and there's the moss around you, and you can glance over your shoulder and you see the gateway. You do see Jasper there, looking around from side to side, and he hurriedly motions for you.
Okay. Can I get that then?
Oh, you're back.
My back.
Oh,
Coming, Jasper.
no! Talavin comes into her dream, picks her up and tosses her closer. Go! Get over there!
Get over there.
Yeah, I just and just kind of like try to get up and just like
it's just a little bit achy.
I get past
but
it
there's
and go to Jasper.
There's a slight franticness as he motions you forward. He looks around again. And you can see him now. His hair is pulled off to the side. It looks like it had been tugged free from whatever he had put it up before. It's kind of hanging loose at his side. You can see there are a few cuts on his face. You can see that same bandage on his arm is still kind of seeping. He's kind of wearing this almost pirate-like puffed out shirt, which is tucked in to these into these dark pants. Although he's currently barefoot, which is interesting. As he's looking around, his sword is drawn, his dagger is drawn. He's looking around. He's like, I need to make sure you were all right. Thought you were in extreme distress when you came to the gate earlier.
It was on accident.
Accident?
I didn't mean to pass out. You know I can be rather squeamish at times.
Nora's squeamish too?
Maybe just a little bit.
Or
it was just a joke.
He grins and he's like, you worked with hot iron and steel and blades all your life, and yet a little bit of blood on your back makes you weak in the knees. You fascinate me. We can't talk too long. You have to be careful. If you do come back here, you have to be careful.
Yes.
You can see his green eyes. They're not panicked, but they are expressing concern.
Yes. Oh,
You seem unnerved earlier. Only got a moment.
unnerved.
Unnerved.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Is everything okay?
Voice in my head. Yes. Someone was able.
Whispering secrets.
You were not there.
Thank you. It's okay. Someone was able to tell about my past. Someone I had just come across, and it was very unnerving to have someone read your innermost secrets like a book.
There are many people like that out there. There are ways of reading into things. Who was this person?
Her name was Nessie.
Thanks for a second.
She was a traveling tattoo artist.
Make an insight check.
Yeah.
Damn.
7.
That's too bad.
I don't know.
It'll be fine. We'll just speak up a little bit.
I'll be down. 7 for insight.
7. He's thinking. You can see he's thinking about the name, but it's hard to read off of him. You see his brow furrow a couple times. His bright eyes just dart. As he looks back to you, he's interesting. Looks around the room. He has questions. You need something of it. Otherwise, it might be safer for you to go ahead and return.
What do I need to be doing training-wise? I haven't had any tasks to do other than my foraging.
When I know more information, I'll let you know. Just keep being observant, keep being careful. They have moves. They're relatively aware of where you are. But since you moved, it's going to be hard for them. Keep moving.
Right. I will. You stay safe. Like,
When he looks around, he's like,
you're in danger.
I've been a little bit more square. Let's just say, I'm receiving a lot of challenges recently.
I see.
He presses his back of his hand to the front gate.
I do this. I just got like,
His hand, when it touches against yours, rotates. And he interlaces his fingers with yours. Once again, that shimmering blur between the arcane maidens and his whispers. And he was like, continue winning sports. Continue fighting. Keep doing right.
yes, I will. And you don't get challenged so much.
Don't worry about me.
Fight so much.
I'll be alright. A little bit worse for wear. And he kind of glances. He's like, seem different. He said,
What is that?
you seem different.
You see.
He kind of gives you a little tug as he kind of glances. He can't see your back. But you can see he's kind of curiously staring at you, staring at your back.
I take off my shirt. Oh.
I praised directly into the fire for a while.
I don't do that.
Nora doesn't her mind go.
I made a deal to help myself be stronger so I can take care of myself.
Probably a smart move. His hand
You're
squeezes yours
fucking
again.
anything, so fuck.
Because I use like
He glances around again and he's like, there's something we need to discuss. I need you to focus. Thanks for listening. We need to talk to your cousin a little bit more. Things are happening. He kisses your hand and lets you go. Go. Be careful. Come back here.
Alright.
And he runs off.
I go away. I don't stay. I don't stay.
You go to bed. You go to bed. You both of you achieve a full night's rest. So you both come to consciousness. still feel that warmth in his hand.
I got the dream and I got to see Jasper a little bit and I really like Jasper. I don't know what to do with myself now.
Both of you come to consciousness.
I'm just laying there like, I hate everything.
It aches a little bit. Your shoulder, your chest, your side. Just this tugging ache like a scab that you've just pulled for the 100th time. Both of you feel this same feeling.
I'm gonna
I'm just gonna lay there for a minute.
I'm gonna try to reapply the cream, trying to not wake Talavin.
I'm awake, it's fine.
Yeah, but I don't know that you're awake.
I'm gonna see you're trying to apply it to your back, and I'm just gonna get up and take it from you and start applying it to your back for you.
I'm limp, I'm like, thank you. Like,
And then I apply it to my arm, my chest, and my side, and I'm just like,
It
help
makes it
you.
feel so much better. You're not sure what's in it, but it smells like lavender. It's love.
I like lavender. I don't know what to do after that.
I don't know what to do either. This is fine. This is fine.
You see Zoom at this point. He's just crouched over the edge of the bed, just rubbing his temples. His hair is just kind of tossed in his face, kind of tousled only on one side. He's just rubbing his temples. He looks up. The sunlight coming through, the early morning sunlight already.
I chuckle a little bit. I'm like,
He rubs his eyes.
question for prestidigitation.
There you go.
Can I heat water with that?
Yes.
So I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna make a pot of like hot water, and I'm gonna make everybody some tea.
You focus on the water, you concentrate, and thankfully, this water does not taste as foul as swamp water or the Willends water. Take a moment to filter out the impurities, and it takes you several castings. It's not like one casting is instant boil. You have to continuously reapply. A couple times you accidentally touch the metal and kind of burn your hand up.
Distraction. My intelligence is still low.
You all have a little bit of tea for the morning, which make a constitution saving throw with advantage.
For my tea! Thank you! I got that one! I got that one! I got a 5!
Guys,
Man, I just can't handle my liquor. I got the 8.
A constitution?
Yeah, constitution saving throw.
I always get the hangover. Like
17.
17. Okay, so you're feeling pretty good. Zoom, after having that invigorated, feeling great, he actually is like going around and like helping like make up the beds. And he's all ready for whatever the day has planned for him.
I lay back down and I put the pillow over my head again. Like before, I just lay there for a minute.
Oh Lord, no.
Like, thank you for the tea. I just need a minute.
You spend another 30 minutes. Go ahead and make another constitution saving throw with advantage.
I got a nat 1!
Whatever you did to those
19! Thank
Whatever she did to those dice, they are
I don't
not.
know what you did
happy.
to those guys, but you,
19 is right next to that one.
yes it is. You take a second under the pillow, and whenever you pull your head back, throbbing has starting to cease. Probably figured some breakfast would help tide over everything. Tal'el is also up. He hasn't said much. He's just kind of sitting on the edge of not the candle, but the candle base.
Okay.
He's just sitting, his fingers are kind of interlaced, placed up against his lips.
I'll say that while she's still kind of taking a nap, I'll make some. Can I like make breakfast up there?
There's not a kitchen.
Yeah, there's nothing to like make stuff with
No.
really, because I can't like just
Like
start a
heat
fire.
your hand and crack an egg on your hand.
Not good. Nah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
They're probably-
How about while she's still taking a little bit of a nap? Did we go anywhere to eat, or did we like eat in the inn?
We're in a tavern, so you can eat there.
Did we eat there already though? Was it okay?
Yeah, we did the night before.
I'll just say, like, while she's still taking a little bit of a nap, I'll just tell everybody that, like, I'll go down and get us some breakfast to bring it back up. And then I'll go down and get some breakfast.
You go down, simple enough, manage to acquire the necessary breakfast. It's a little bit greasy, but you kind of get a platter of eggs, a platter of what you think is probably sausage, or at least it was rolled to look like sausage. You take a second and you look, it's probably crocodile. It's probably crocodile sausage. Nothing starts the day right like croc. There are also some grits.
What about bread? Do they have any bread?
Doesn't seem like they have any bread.
Feeling some bread. Do you think I could make my own bread?
Do you ask her?
No, like,
It would take
would
a while.
Talavin know how to make bread? Because I feel like
Yeah.
Like basic?
You probably know how to make it very simple.
Okay, just wondering for future reference, because
I was like, they're just gonna straight
I'm
up.
sick of eating fucking eggs and sausage. I want some biscuits, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, you need a kitchen. You need access to some kind of kitchen.
Hey, look, I've seen it done in the woods on YouTube.
Oh yeah, wood biscuits. This is great.
Sure.
There's no
Come on, it's better than a fucking.
There's absolutely
Croc sausage.
no role that I could make you perform that would cause this to go horribly wrong without a kitchen.
How long does bread last? I don't think it'll last very long.
Depends on where you put it.
Depends on the bread.
You bring up the breakfast. Everybody partakes in it. Zoom just happily. He actually reaches in and holds out some of his gold pieces.
No. And I don't. What do we call that? Do we call it something?
It's just the link.
I just kind of linked to him. I'm like, it's fine. I got it.
You see him again, kind of.
I kind of chuckled to myself just a little bit.
I was wondering when you were going to do that again. Oh, what was in that wine? You can see.
I kind of grin over at him, and I'm just like,
Yeah, Nora, what you see is all of a sudden he's hyper focused. He was happily eating, just kind of looking at you both, and all of a sudden he's hyper focused on Talavin.
Yeah, I can probably guess what's happening. Probably, since you did it to me earlier.
Yeah, earlier the day before.
I'm going to say probably a little bit of too fermented grapes. I can't fucking speak with these braces in my mouth.
I don't know what was in that, but it tasted good. Did you carry me up here last night? Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Oh, it wasn't a big deal. You're only a little heavy. And I kind of chuckle again. And I was like, Nessie helped me.
She's scary.
I laugh out loud a little bit, and then I just kind of like cough a little bit. I'm like,
What was
she is interesting.
What was all of that she was saying? I mean, she was talking about a lot of things, and I don't remember everything, but she
Well,
just
that's
said
good.
a few very interesting things. I mean,
What do you remember?
I didn't see what the parchment said, but whatever it was, it upset Nora. I hate saying that.
I don't know a lot about my cousin's recent past, so I can't say what might have upset her, but I know that when people know things about you that sometimes you might not know about yourself, it can be a little unnerving.
I'm glad she didn't do me then. Not like she tried, right? She didn't try to, right?
I just kind of chuckle and look away mischievously.
No! What did she say? You
And then I just
kind of pale slightly.
Aww.
I'm like,
He
I'm
looks
kidding.
over
I'm
to
kidding.
Nora, panics, like,
I just kind of like, I'm kidding. She didn't. You were asleep before then.
He does an insight check on you. He believes you.
Oh.
Ooh, natural 20! Even I was like, you would know!
Yeah, he just looks and he's like, oh no. He just kind of shrinks in on himself a little bit and he's like, also, I didn't really say sorry for what happened yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
Mm.
And I look at him and I'm like, nothing happened.
You must remember that different than I did because we tried a whole bunch of nasty.
I look at him, I'm like,
vials
Zoom.
and
It's fine.
It's not fine.
It's fine. I should have been talking to him when that happened, god damn it.
You were headless.
Oh yeah. I wasn't dyeless, Sally.
He just pink cheeks, stops eating and just kind of turns away. Which doesn't help, so he turns back.
Oh god. I'm just gonna like get up and I'm just gonna walk over and like kind of ruffle his hair and be like, it is what it is.
At first he kind of shies away from it, but then kind of leans into it.
Oh.
He kind of looks at his hair. It's getting too long.
Oh no.
No. This is gonna age him.
Oh, he's good.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, he's fine.
Well, if you need help cutting it, I used to cut my brother's hair.
Kind of eyes light up a little. Would you?
I mean, as long as you... It's been a few years, but I mean...
I can't
I
look
can
any
always
worse
try.
than this. You see him kind of tug a little smile on his face.
Yeah, of course. I'd be more than happy to cut your hair. Oh god.
Do I sense love in the air?
Oops, I did it again. Every DM ever. I played with your heart. He goes over and he kind of dunks his head in some water and kind of ruffles it and shakes it off.
I'm gonna get out one of my daggers. I'm gonna kind of like get it a little bit sharp. Make sure it's plenty sharp.
He looks almost a little unwary. He's like, okay.
Well,
Do I need to close
scissors.
my eyes?
Well,
he
what-
points over to his pack and he's like, I have some that I've made. You can use the ones I made instead of using
Are they
that
sharp?
nice sharp knife.
I mean, I'm quite skilled with it, and I kind of like twirl a little bit, and that catches.
Make a dexterity check.
Oh
Is this all in your head?
no! Yes, no, like we're talking
You're
in
just
our
like-
head.
Ooh, ruffle his head, like...
13.
You're like...
You don't manage to cut yourself, but you just there's a very hesitant fumble with the blade. Just he notices his eyes just widen. He's like, there's some scissors that I made in the like back over there if you really feel inclined to.
And I go over and I get the scissors out.
Yeah, they look more like sheep shears. It's fine.
That's no better. I just kind of look at him and I'm like,
He shrugs. Fandom.
how much do you want off the top?
I'd like to keep my head. Whatever you think. I'm not picky.
You should let his hair go long.
What does his hair look like? What does it look like?
It comes down by his shoulders. It's kind of.
Is it like it's like a full head of hair?
It's a full head of hair that if he tousles it, it kind of just hangs kind of in his face. It's not that it's.
And I look at him and I'm like,
goes.
would you be interested in a change?
Change. I mean, I don't really see a whole lot of my reflection, so I wouldn't know what it look like in a puddle.
I mean, I'm thinking a little bit of this.
You just sketch out a thing. How about this? Would you like to look at
I guess I trust your It's called an undercut.
Yes. An undercut.
Okay.
I take out my dagger again.
With a top knot.
Make a persuasion roll.
Oh no.
No.
15.
He looks and he sees his eyes kind of squint. He just nods.
Okay. I'm gonna like trim, like, you know, obviously like around like most of it, and then I'll take my dagger and just very carefully just kind of like trim it down for like, it's not like bald, but like it's just it's short, and then I'm just gonna like kind of like snip off a little bit off the top and like just like the dead ends, and like so it's not like super long, but like if he like let it down, it would like kind of just like, and I kind of trim his bangs a little bit. I don't know, no bangs.
Make a dexterity check.
Like Sokka's hair.
This is gonna be really bad.
It is a wolf's tail.
Can I get the advantage? 10.
That's not bad.
It's a 6!
It's not bad.
It's mostly to make sure that you don't cut him. And he,
Please don't let me cut.
No,
Zoom.
and he doesn't. He does his best not to flinch. There were a couple times where the blade comes really close by his ear, and you can see as your dagger gets closer to his ear, you can see him
Like leaning away. I'm like, don't
lean
move.
away, like don't move, and so it's involuntary. You just hear it's involuntary. I don't know what.
The more you move, the worse it could be. I don't say that.
Overall, not too shabby. Definitely has been a few years since you've cut someone else's hair other than your own.
I thought I even cut my hair.
Uh-huh. But yeah. You're impressed with your work, and he kind of looks in the basin of water. Kind of looks and says that.
Now you look more your age. You don't look like a child.
He kind of looks and is like,
Oh. Don't look like
you look that much like a child.
I'm gonna look at him and be like,
He actually does tie up his hair and looks like, I can still do this. And he looks to you and
oh my god, that's so cute! And I like give her a nudge.
That was just your reaction. It looks very nice.
She's kind of get pink again a little bit. And
Oh, yeah. Good job.
Okay, so we do have something to discuss today.
Yeah, that we
And
procrastinated.
I look at Tal'el.
he's not looking at. He hasn't watched this entire exchange. He's again hands kind of clasped by his.
And now we're all
And
looking at
as
him.
you say that. Yes. You were from me, right? Rubs his eyes and stands and walks to the edge of the nightside table, kind of staring up at all of you.
So I'm thinking. Obviously we only have one horse. Warrior can fly, obviously, he has wings. We could get to this place that you need to go in about a day with one person on his back. If me and Nora were both to go, it could take a little bit over a day. Obviously I don't want to get there at night, but at the same time, I would like to get you to where you need to go as quickly as possible.
Nods.
I don't know if it would be safe for just me to go with you though. Which would mean I would prefer for Nora to come with me, which Zoom would mean you would have to stay here with our stuff. Because I wouldn't be able to take all of our things
He
with
looks
us.
so sad. He's like,
Until we get you a horse.
What if I go find? Can I go find one?
Well, she needs one too, and it'd have to be a flying horse. I don't think there's going to be very many of those here.
He looks upset.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking of, obviously there could potentially be a lot of lives in danger, and I think it would be in our best interest to get there as quickly as possible. I can talk to Jacob and Wyatt. They're going to be here for a few days. Maybe you can help them out so that you're not just sitting in this room by yourself.
I don't think they like me as much.
Well, don't worry. I'll make them like you.
You can't make anybody like you.
I can make anyone do anything. I'm kidding. That was Sophia.
Yeah, he looks upset. At this point, actually, Tal'el says, actually, I do like the idea of getting there quickly, but I'm not familiar with identifying things in the air. I mean, I can only go so high. I mean, I wouldn't be able to... I know roughly where everything is supposed to be, but there are certain markers on the ground that I have to be able to follow.
So you couldn't follow you couldn't follow it from the air if we just flew over the path?
And shakes his head. Like, I haven't been to all of these places. I just know where they are.
I see. Well, I suppose the best course of action would be for us to
To
find
ask
some...
Jacob and Wyatt if they will let us borrow their horses.
That too.
That's what I'm feeling right now. We can bring them back. I don't care. We'll pay them.
I can point you in the right direction, but there's no guarantee. It could put us further away than we originally anticipated.
So flying is out of the out.
It's not out of the question. It's just it could go really well, or it could go not as so.
Well, I'd rather
well.
have the for sure than anything else. So on would it take us at like a full gallop? On horseback, one person each.
This is the swamp. This is technically difficult terrain. You would need someone who understands the territory.
Well, shouldn't Tal'el understand any of this?
Zoom wouldn't.
I mean, Zoom would, but he's not familiar with this area, technically.
Well, it's swamp area. Yeah. Alright. So
I say we ask Jacob and Wyatt if we can borrow their horses. Bring them back, obviously.
alive. Hopefully.
Who wants Buttercup?
Obviously, the only person that could probably handle her is me. Unless somebody else has a +6 in animal handling.
Zoom kind of thinks for a sec. What's an animal handling?
What is your animal handling?
+4.
That's actually not bad. That's not terrible.
That's not bad.
It's okay.
It's okay, I guess. Alright, let's go ask them then.
Okay.
Or if they want to come, then I don't know. Oh, well, let's not
Let's
speculate. Let's go ask.
Yeah, let's just go ask.
If we can borrow.
He looks and he's like, am I coming with you or am I staying here? Are we leaving soon after acquiring the horses or are you coming back here?
We'll come back.
We'll-
We're just gonna, you can come with us if you want, but we're gonna discuss it with them in the least.
I don't know if they like me, so I probably should stay here.
Our character, these two dudes are so insecure. They don't like me.
I know.
Jacob,
All of
why
these
don't-
dudes are insecure.
they
What are you
don't
talking about?
like me.
All 4 of them!
Jacob's not.
That's true.
Okay, back. Sorry. They're like me. Alright, so we go down to the
Alright,
room.
so...
314 down.
Okay, so they're still in that room. I was gonna say, did I notice them when I went to get breakfast?
No, you did actually make a perception check.
In the past.
Because I was gonna ask, but then I just... 25.
25. You did
Yes.
notice there was a new group of... Oh no. What is it? Is it cocked?
It's cocked. Between a 1 and a 19. Okay.
What is it, a perception? 20. A natural 20.
Okay.
Okay, that's dirty 20. You did notice on your way down, it didn't really change, you did notice that there was a group of individuals who had just arrived. About 4 individuals who came in.
Boys, girls, men, women,
2...
children.
3 men, 2 women. Or, no, 3 men, 1 woman.
Do I notice anything? I mean, that isn't... it's a 20! What do I notice about them? Do I notice
They look kind of, dirty humans, kind of wearing, light leathers. And you see them whenever you all head back downstairs, if that's where you're going to look for Jacob and Wyatt.
Well, I was gonna look in their room first, see if there's
Okay. But yeah, like whenever you were there, I mean, you only just got a glance at them. That's why you noticed them.
Okay.
Was the three. Yeah, they just kind of seem dirty swamp goers. There are a couple other people who are passed down the corner who you remember from the night before who are still inebriated.
Okay. So that was in the past, right?
Yeah, that was
whenever
you went to go get breakfast.
Okay,
so whenever
so
you
we'll
go
go-
to the door, you knock on their door. Silence for a little bit. Yes? It's Jacob.
He has a hangover. I mean, he did pass out from his alcohol.
I'm gonna look at him and be like, "You feeling all right?"
Undetermined right now. What can I do for you?
Can we buy you some breakfast?
That would be wonderful.
Do you want us to bring it up to you, or you want to come and join us?
He kind of looks outside. Oh, I'm light.
I kind of smirk a little bit at that, like,
No. Peers back. Give us a few minutes. You hear Wyatt. Why is the door open?
I don't say anything. I'm like, we'll be waiting.
Right. It's so bright outside. You hear what?
but we already had.
And then you hear a thump. It's like, get dressed.
Chuckle.
I don't want to go out.
We should go get
Thump.
We
Ow.
should go get the food.
I do kind of want to go into their room.
Get up.
I do kind of want to go into their room.
I should have smothered you. You're.
I'm gonna say I'm just kind of like leaning up against like across the hall just a little bit, just kind of like waiting.
We still have our teacups from that morning. Like,
You hear another.
thanks a lot.
Ow! From behind the door. You can tell it was Jacob. What was that for? You're Wyatt.
I chuckle a little bit under my breath. I'm like, oh god.
You're terrible. Again, the door peers back out. It's Jacob again. He's mostly dressed. He kind of looks disheveled, like he was trying to dress himself in the dark, and he probably did, as this particular room has no windows. And there's no interior light. And he steps out and closes the door behind him. He thinks better of it and swings the door wide open. You hear, no! Make a perception check, both of you.
Oh my god! No! 15!
19.
You
Spill the beans! God damn it!
The room is dark. You do
No! I have dark vision!
I don't care. I do. There's dark. It is dark in the room, but you all do have dark vision, so everything kind of cancels out. You do see along his spine there is
Like upwards or across?
down
Okay.
his spine.
Yeah.
Following his spine, there's a long dagger, but that's as far as you
A
get.
dagger?
A dagger. That's as far as you get.
I like it.
I like it.
It's half a glimpse as he's putting on the shirt, but
Ooh.
what you also notice was
Are there scars?
there are lots of scars. There are lots of scars and pockmarks.
What? What?
Pockmarks.
What is that?
Like stab healing.
Where it looks like something might have been gouged out. The door runs forward quickly and shuts the door as he darts off in the shadows.
I would expect
Can't see me.
I I would expect a wine brewer to have a higher tolerance.
Well, as I recall, we had a few before you all had arrived. And I'm pretty sure Nessie is trying to drug me and getting a better deal. I didn't give her anything extra, did I?
Maybe.
Business is business. It's fine. I just have to be so bright outside. Anyway, let me treat you all for breakfast because arriving at the door in such disheveled manner is no way to treat friends.
Instead, can we treat you to breakfast?
Because we have
with a
matter
favor.
to discuss.
Looks. Looks back and he's like, he's not for sale, sorry. Kind of grins.
I pale a little bit. I'm like, oh god, no.
I put my money pouch away. No. Not really. No,
Favor?
that's wrong.
Favor. What kind of favor?
Let's get you some food first.
No, I want to hear this favor before I accept any breakfast. I've learned from Nessie not to make extra deals on the side.
We were wondering if we could borrow Nearn and Buttercup for a few days, depending on if you all were staying in town and wouldn't need them.
Plan to stay in town for a few days, but for what exactly?
One of our companions, a small, winged man.
You can almost see it. It doesn't sober him up entirely, but you see he's almost got that Jack Sparrow like, oh no. Look in his eyes. He's like,
He's having.
serious?
Yes, actually. His home was attacked, and his wings were damaged, and he's been unable to go and warn the next colony of further attacks. And he's asked, well, we've accept. No, what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Decided to help?
yeah, that's what I meant. I don't know what I was trying to say. We've, decided to try and help him. But it's a 3-day ride, and it would seem that I'm the only one with a horse in my small group of companions.
Mm-hmm. He didn't say what attacked him, did he?
He said that he was unsure. He said that there were hooded humanoid figures.
He leans against the door, nice and vague. And crosses his arms. Yeah, this.
Remember, this is the one that was. I told you.
Just leans against the door.
He was
Did you think that to me?
Yes. And I kind of to her, I'm like, he's the one that was he was sus about Tal'el. I saw that kind of mind link that to her.
Okay.
So you don't believe him?
I'm naturally suspicious of the tiny fae folk. There have been too many tales and stories and encounters with them going horribly wrong. Whether it's children going missing, whether it's people going missing. Sometimes people wander off into the swamps and are never heard from again. Maybe they get sucked into the Feywild. Maybe they need them for their potions and experiments. I only know what I've seen.
Would Nora know stuff about this?
Yeah, probably.
Would she know if it's true or if it's a myth?
Make a history check.
Okay. 3.
That dice is not with
Dude,
you.
seriously, where's your other dice?
8.
These are my normal ones.
Oh, get some different ones.
You're trying to remember. I mean,
Would I know anything like that?
There were a lot of stories about different things. I mean, it's possible. Would you know anything?
Yeah. I mean, because
make a history check with disadvantage.
oh, fucker.
You weren't directly related with the Feywild.
13.
13. There were a couple times where there were, whenever you went to go see your cousin, that there were stories of mischievous tiny folk in swamps and woods to lead adventurers astray. But these adventurers always managed to conquer, to vanquish whatever it was, and everything they saw wasn't always what they seemed. And there was always that lingering thought of, it's possible. You also remember Mo, the baby. You remember how easily she was soothed, how easily she was calmed by whatever it was that Tal'el did in that moment.
That was a good thing.
But was it?
Oh, why you gotta be like that?
Look, Robin's sussing him for a while now.
Why?
Because of Jacob! Now I really don't want to help him, but oh god. I don't say that out loud. I'm just like...
You're linking it to your cousin.
I'm like, shush. I need to think.
I think just one of us should go and drop his ass off. And I'm thinking this to you. And just...
He's kind of looking at both of you as you all are making this eye contact. He's just kind of watching you like, look, I'm not here to make waves. In fact, I'm still feeling the waves of whatever was in my drink last night. All I know is what I know. Take it or leave it.
Take or leave the horses?
You're funny. Whoa! As the door from behind. Wyatt's just standing there and he's like, I've been waiting to do that all day. Thank you both. As he kind of gives him a nudge with his boot.
I'm gonna like lean forward and give him my arm. I'm like, do you need some help?
And Jacob's like, no, I'm gonna stand here for a minute. And he's like, yeah, that's what you're gonna do. And he steps over.
I kind of just like look away chuckling. I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, Wyatt steps over, kind of sees you guys, and he doesn't seem as tense anymore. There's still a little bit of hesitancy, but he actually kind of gives you a morning half smile and kind of nod, and says, I'm going down to breakfast. Because this one apparently wants to get up today and goes downstairs.
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit down because now I want to know Wyatt's opinion.
That's a good idea.
Jacob stays there for probably the next 10 minutes or so I'm keeping that in mind as you will follow Wyatt downstairs and you hear him go, I deserve this. I deserve this.
Yes. Okay.
Wyatt goes downstairs.
I'm gonna pay for Wyatt's breakfast.
As he goes to order and stuff, you slide the coins across, which in total, just silver. Very simple.
How much?
A silver.
A silver. And then I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna state. I'm like, the one that comes down in a minute. I'm gonna pay for his as well.
All right.
Wyatt, not surprised, a little bit surprised, kind of gives you all a little bit of a curt nod and goes and sits over at one of the tables. And
Well, before he leaves, we have to... Well, I guess we will follow him.
Yeah.
Never mind.
yeah, after, he kind of puts the order.
It's not like he's... Really...
He takes it and he kind of gestures over to one of the tables. Make a perception check. Actually, this would mostly be Talavin. You can make one too.
18?
12.
12? It wasn't too hard for you. It was actually a little bit more difficult for you since you were there earlier. You do notice the same individuals from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Are still over in the corner eating breakfast.
Okay.
Talking. As well as the two people over in the corner who are still passed out.
Damn!
Are they really passed out?
Up.
Are they really passed out, though?
You can get an inside check if you want, but that perception check shows that you do notice the two people over in the corner and you notice the other people the four at one of the tables having breakfast, talking quietly. They kind of look like swamp dwellers.
I don't care what they look like. Oh wait, doesn't count.
Purposely.
I was insight, I said?
Yep, it's like
9.
9. They look asleep. Pretty sure they're asleep.
Do I have fluff in my hair?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Thank
pretty
you.
sure they're asleep. They look asleep.
Okay.
Wyatt goes and sits down and starts eating quietly.
Let me get kind of straight to the point.
He kind of looks a little bit worried as he...
It was
Our
a
little
bribe.
sprite friend that we've been traveling with, Tal'el.
Yes.
That's so cute. So adorable. I hate it. Okay, I thought you didn't like Wyatt.
I don't, but it's adorable how nervous he is all the time. It's just kind of intriguing. What are your thoughts on him? I've heard Jacob's thoughts.
Jacob's had bad experiences with them.
And what have your experiences with him been?
I haven't had any.
No stories, no rumors you've heard?
I know what Jacob's told me. I know they say don't go wandering out in the forest or the swamps at night because you see little lights and they can lead you into the Feywild and you're never heard from again.
In her head. I resent that. Okay.
I mean, some people say it's lost souls, some people say it's ghosts, other people say it's sprites and tiny fey folk. It's... I don't know. Pulls up his hood, shoves another bite in his mouth.
I'm gonna kind of just like lean back and like I'm just like staring up at the ceiling.
Looks and like, has he given you a reason to mistrust him?
I can't say he's given me a reason to distrust him, but I can't say he's given me a reason to trust him.
Same goes for Tal'el, actually.
Well, that's who I was talking about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Jacob.
Oh, no, I don't think was he talking about Jacob?
I think he was.
No, he's talking about Tal'el.
Okay, I was like, whoops. I don't know shit about Jacob.
Shoves another bite in his mouth. With his hood up. I don't like being asked so many questions this early in the morning, especially when he's still lightly hungover.
Oh man.
Very lightly, though.
I don't have anything for hangover. I don't want to give it to him. Okay.
All I have is my tea, but I'm drinking it.
I have dried boar.
I mean, I can take out some of my herbs. I can give them to him. Like, if you crush these, or if you boil these in some water, it helps.
Kind of looks, smells. Thanks. I'll be sure to keep these away from Jacob.
I chuckle.
Like, Jacob can be pretty trusting up front, and usually if he is uneasy about something, it's usually for a reason, but if you haven't been given a reason by a sprite, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. At which point he's kind of like pushing some of the eggs, he's kind of like chasing it with his spoon a little. It's like, I mean, it doesn't look like you're satisfied in the answer I gave.
We were just looking to borrow
Yeah,
your horses to drop them off.
But no, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not sure.
What do you think he'll do?
Well, that's the issue is I don't know what's after him. I don't know. I don't want to put people in danger for someone I don't know. But at the same time, I don't want to leave someone who needs help helpless.
You can remember that for your next dream. You want to help people, right?
Kind of looks up at you, Nora, and kind of gives a little quirky grin.
Sorry. That was.
I'm a worst case scenario kind of person. What's the worst case scenario about this? If you go and help him,
Sorry.
and let's say benefit, Jacob and hangover, lousy, no good, cover student. Let's say he's right, and he's whatever this little sprite's leading you into some kind of ambush. Then that's the worst case scenario, is that you're ambushed by a bunch of tiny fae.
Or it could be whatever's been attacking his colonies.
That could be too. Or there could be absolutely nothing there.
Yeah, I mentioned that last night. Didn't seem to make him very happy.
What was that for?
I don't know.
What was that for?
Do you think ruffles his hair under and pulls his hood over a little bit further, and he looks reluctant, but you wanting backup? Is that what this is about? Do you need more people? Do you feel like he's actually going to try and pull something on you?
To borrow your horses.
We meant to borrow your horses so that me, Nora, and Zoom could take him quickly.
You're just the best one I've had, though.
I mean, we would have brought him back.
He scoops it up, and then the worst case scenario. He scoops it up, and he's
That's
like,
the one he's had. I'm like, oh, fucking horses, man,
he folds his arms, and the spoon is just kind of hanging out of his mouth as he's kind of chewing on it. It's a wooden spoon. He just kind of chews on it for a minute. Perturbed. He doesn't like the idea of giving up his
Aw.
He likes his horse.
Now I'm like
Pulls it
dead
out.
set on just going by myself and just dropping his ass off.
Why?
Because I don't know.
He's gonna teach you how to poison people.
I don't care about that now. Like, I just want him. I don't know what I want now. Now I'm like, I don't know, but then I don't know, but then I don't know.
If only I had trees dried, that would be convenient. Oh no, there's little trees in there.
I mean, I don't have anything worth.
He keeps eating.
I'm just gonna kind of like sit back for a minute and just think.
At this point, Jacob comes down, and kind of looks, kind of gives his hood a little bit of a tug. He's like, back off. And growls. And he's like, yes, you get.
Fucking go!
And goes over, finds that his breakfast was already paid for, and is sitting there. It's a little bit colder, but he just kind of shrugs, takes it over. He kind of kicks Wyatt's chair and he scoots it over reluctantly. Sits down across from you guys. Thanks. He's like, this doesn't mean I'm guaranteeing our horses. This is Jacob talking. Doesn't mean I'm guaranteeing the horses.
It's fine.
That's fine. It wasn't a bribe, it was meant as a kind gesture.
When would they be back?
Well,
Within a week.
yeah, Madison, how long would it take on horseback?
Takes 3 days.
Well,
We were fucking walking.
If you were walking, it would take 3 days. Like 3 days on foot, which, would be Tal'el's maximum flying speed at any given point in time.
So if we were like, not, I don't want to say like hard galloping, but like.
Well, if you were going actually directly into the swamp, that would be considered difficult terrain.
And is that the way that Tal'el knows?
Yes.
Fuck.
If you know that Zoom has traversed the swamps, and he's helped you before, you feel
That's
like
also on foot.
if you feel like if you bring him, you'd probably have a better chance of navigating.
I didn't start the timer.
That's unfortunate. You have 17 minutes.
Okay. Sorry.
So it would take, if you all tried to get a little bit of a faster pace, you could probably get there, maybe a day and a half, 2 days, give or take. I mean, depending on the different conditions. I mean, you all are going to be traveling across interesting terrain.
So then, okay. Well, if we could fly, it would only take a couple of days, but on horseback, I don't know, 4 or 5 days max. We're just, we're still kind of discussing it currently.
Why is this so hard?
He looks and he's like, you could just leave him in the room.
I kind of glower at him a little bit.
Glower.
And he's like, it's not your problem. He asked you to do something. Obviously, you all seem bent on doing it for whatever reason. I don't know why. As he's like half in a bite of food. As he's like half in a bite, and he stops for a second. And he's like, if somebody else happens along, I mean, if you back out now, then that's just somebody else's problem. Someone else gets to get ambushed.
Can we pause for a second? What did you give a shit about him as like a fae spirit type thing? Like, aren't you fae?
Yeah, I'm half fae.
Then where the fuck? Speak the fuck up!
What?
Like, wouldn't you care about
This is her character.
like any of these spirits? Like, don't you have anything like?
Well, that's why she wants to help him.
So you do want to help him?
Yeah!
I can't tell.
I want to help him!
Talvin's over here thinks she's gonna make all the decisions because she can't get a read off her cousin.
Sorry! I want to help him, okay?
Oh!
Sorry.
Delete that out.
It was funny.
Oh my god. Now I'm even more.
He looks just like, if he asked, and you said yes initially, bring up your doubts, tell him you don't want to do it, and back out, and Wyatt at this point kind of slaps him on the shoulder, and he's like, you be quiet. They get to make their own choice. If they want to help him, then he hasn't given any reason to distrust him. We didn't even know they were traveling with him. And he's like, exactly the point. There's this moment where there's just kind of eye contact stare off between the two. Before Wyatt breaks, he goes back to scraping at the bottom of his bowl. Jacob looks back.
Would it be too much to ask what your experience is
This in his mouth. So bold.
with these creatures are?
Bold.
But I gotta find answers. Like, I gotta figure out what the heck I'm about to
Make a
do.
persuasion check.
Just for Chloe, pretty nice.
What? What is it?
Can I help?
9.
Can I help?
You haven't said much.
Please help us.
Did you see this one? Just
He takes a second and sighs and like he kind of slaps his spoon in his dish and kind of looks away. This is, Jacob kind of seems, confident and smooth, and this is obviously kind of bothering him. He just kind of shakes his head and he's like, just bad experience.
I kind of just look away. I'm just kind of like,
Well, it's alright. We will. We didn't need to include you in our affairs.
No, I mean, I'm trying to look out for you guys. Not in a creepy, that came out wrong. Not in a creepy way. I just want to make sure you go in informed. It doesn't seem like you all have very much experience directly with creatures like her.
But you know that
Now-
I'm not fair, you know.
Just because she's Fae doesn't mean that she's had direct discussions with pixies and fairies and
It's true.
sprites. Like, I mean, she's had more training on them and more education on them, if anything. It wasn't like, you know, the sprites helped know the armor. It's not like they helped do a bunch of things. Like, she's had some interactions, but, I mean, it's not like this was her entire history dedicated to this.
I wish I paid more attention in history class.
You were too busy watching someone's eyes.
And my roles would have been better. No, I'm a good student, I am.
The lies of it all.
I'm a good student. Would have been just about.
Even at a +4, I even have a proficiency in history!
We just want to get him where he needs to be, and then we get to move on with our lives. I'm afraid it wouldn't sit.
I'm kind of like sitting over here just like mentally frustrated because I'm just like, I don't know what to do.
I'm afraid.
So I'm just kind of like staring like at like my little cup of tea. I'm just kind of like,
terribly guilty for taking him
Make a perception check.
this far and abandoning
16.
him.
She don't receive nothing.
Happen to love.
You notice Wyatt, because I mean, after they're kind of stared at, Wyatt's kind of gone quiet, but his eyes have drifted over to the people you saw earlier, and he keeps glancing up from time to time.
Can I make an insight check on them?
On who?
On the 4 people?
You have to whip around and look. Your back is to them currently.
How far away are they from me?
Probably 30 feet or so.
How far is that? Like from here to the other end of this? You say?
Probably.
So do I have to like completely turn around, or could I just kind of like?
They're in a booth. They're in like one of the booths that you were in the night before. In order to get a really
So it would be super obvious if I like.
yeah,
I don't want to say whip around, but like.
yeah. It wouldn't go unnoticed.
So we're just sitting at like a table like this.
Yeah.
And we're just in it like out in the open.
yeah, and across the room.
So where's the door? So like if this is us right here and the booth is back there for them, where's the door and adjacent to where I'm standing right now?
Which door? The front
To
door?
leave.
To leave? It would be that way. for you.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna kind of like I'm gonna kind of like see that he's doing this, and I'm just gonna kind of like take a breath for a second and be like, I just need to take a few minutes to think about this. If y'all need me, I'm gonna be out in the barn for a little while, and I'm gonna stand up to leave. I'm gonna check these motherfuckers because now I'm spooked.
Okay. You walk by, go ahead and make an insight check. Are you doing
I'm
on
gonna follow you.
one person in particular, or
All of them.
okay, group insight. Okay.
So technically, if they're in a booth, would he have specific sight into 2 of them versus the other 2?
I mean, you could kind of, as you're walking by, you can make a quick perception check to see if there's a leader, and then do an insight check on that one particular person.
Kenzie,
Or
is this one in?
Yes. It's me.
Am I doing perception or insight?
it depends on what you want to do. You can do a group insight check, or you can do a try and figure out who might be in charge, or if there's somebody who's been like paying attention more than the others, and then hone in on that one person.
Okay, that.
Okay, perception check first.
10.
10.
I didn't see it. I'm like bumping in my head.
You're walking behind her. You look around. It's hard to tell. One of them kind of looks like he's little bit, too intent on scarfing down whatever is left in his friend's bowl of food. But the other three kind of seemed a little bit closer gathered. And as you walked by, they kind of quiet their conversation a little bit. It's hard to tell. It could be one of those three. Probably not the one with egg on his face.
So is it like the two men on one side and like the woman and a female on, like, where's the woman at this table?
She's in the corner. She's in the back corner.
So would I kind of be able to look at her as I walk past?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I want to make eye contact with her as I walk past. Just like and then like keep going.
Okay. Make eye contact. Easy enough.
And then I'm going to go to the barn.
Okay. You go to the barn. Do you do anything specific?
I haven't seen Warrior in a little while, so I'm going to go take care of him and I'm going to brush on him a little bit.
I followed you, by the way.
Okay, that's fine.
In case.
He's kind of wringing his head. He's awake. He's kind of stamping around. He missed you.
Are there any horses?
Baby. No, she said that there was just beasts of burden.
Well, yeah, but there's new people in town. Are there new horses?
What's going on in the stable currently?
Are there more than 4? 4 used horses? Like, someone might have an extra?
Yeah, there are actually 6 horses.
And they don't look like beasts of burden?
No, they're horses. They're kind of ugly.
I mean, fuck that shit, I don't care. That's why I'm ready to just get you on a horse. So what do you think about this?
I want to help Tal'el. I don't think he's trying to trick us or lure us into a trap. I've rolled a couple insight checks on him and I think he checks out. He seems sincere. What are you thinking?
I'm mostly just worried about what's either following him, if they're following him, and what that could mean for us. Because you never know what, a group of hooded, organized, humanoid figures, you never know what that could mean. Humans, despicable.
We have been spending quite a bit of time around humans lately.
I know. Devious, I'm just feeling I don't know. I want to help Tal'el. So the issue is just going to be getting him there. As of right now, their best bet is just me, you, and Zoom using your little... What is that you do?
Tensor's floating disc.
Yeah, it's just to use that and travel our own way.
I agree.
But I don't know. I feel like that's going to be kind of our only option. I don't want to involve anyone else.
No. I think we should leave today. Just get our journey started.
I agree. Alright, well.
Technically, we could leave our heavier things to lighten the load in the room because we have the room for, oh wait, no.
We only have it for
We only have
2
it for
more nights.
2 more nights.
2 more nights.
Yeah, no, it would take longer, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. Well.
I mean, Jacob will hire here, but I don't know if I trust him with all my stuff.
No. Plus, that would be over-trusting them either way. Well.
Would DM would a cart be faster than just walking?
Make an intelligence check.
Fuck.
But it's swamp.
Yeah, that's fucking useless.
Is that what intelligence is for?
Yeah, that's why my intelligence is low.
What was that?
But much shit. It's a 1. I deserve that.
I'm like,
I mean,
no,
yeah.
we're going in the swamp.
Yeah, it's a cart. Yeah.
Okay,
that's
okay.
Heels. Yeah.
That's okay. I think we can make good time and we can come
I
back.
mean, it's gonna take us 3 days to get there either way.
And I know I haven't been very forthcoming of why I've been on the run. Because honestly, I don't know. But I would rather not stay in one place for too long.
And that's fine with me. I don't have any ties here. I guess, we might as well just start gathering up our things. And, yeah, we can just head out.
Okay.
It'll be our best bet.
I will go tell, zoom in, tell. Well,
At which point you actually see Zoom and coming out into the stable. You can see him kind of like look around, kind of sees you guys in the stables nearby, kind of gives a wave and jogs down.
Towards us?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Thought
Yeah.
he was like gonna jog away. I was like,
He just sprints off into the woods. No. You know, he approaches and kind of gives a smile and
oh, yes. Well, we're figuring things out.
slowly. Very slowly.
Can't you talk to him?
Okay, fine. I'll like, what did we say we call him? Like, link. I'm gonna link with him and I'm just gonna be like, we've decided,
yeah, shudder.
I chuckle a little bit. We've decided to go ahead and take Tal'el ourselves, and all 3 of us will go. We only have 1 horse, so we'll be riding our little floating disc again.
He kind of nods, and because you didn't make a perception check whenever he came up, you actually see Tal'el is.
I mean, I kind of, honestly, like, I assumed he was gonna be there, but
is kind of with
But
them.
she said that in his mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying that
Oh,
the
technically
the
I
moment
did,
this
like,
happens, you can see him brighten up and kind of like look down, and that's whenever you see Tal'el. He kind of gives a. You can just see this relief kind of spread over his face as he.
can I insight check him? I'm feeling like I need to
Or
now.
Tal'el?
Tal'el.
Okay. Go ahead.
He's fine.
I mean, I feel like
Insight
he's fine,
check,
but like,
Tal'el.
I don't know nothing.
Was it the second one you rolled?
No, that was a 2, so it's an 8 instead of a 7. But I don't know nothing.
He's hard. I mean, he's hard to read. I mean, smaller facial features. It's generally he's a little bit harder to read. He's been very reserved up until this point. You haven't spent a whole lot of time conversing directly with him.
Alright, yes, we're gonna pack up our things and we'll be going within the next hour or so.
Zoom looks at you. What about Adriel?
We'll leave a note for her at the tavern.
How we can
To
leave it up
wait.
for her?
We'll come back.
Okay.
Unless
She
you-
should be here today, though. I mean, she was only going to be a few days behind, is what she said. But I mean, by this afternoon and this evening, she might be.
This is what we get for
Okay.
interacting with too many NPCs. It just makes life difficult.
How do you think I feel?
Well, God. Is that you, God? I'll look at Nora and be like, what about Adriel?
We can leave as soon as she gets here. Of course.
I mean, if it's,
Would she have a horse? She would have a horse.
we're all gonna be walking! I mean, honestly, that might even be better because Warrior's not gonna want to carry all our asses around.
Oh my.
I don't want to leave if it gets too late, though. I don't want to be traipsing through a swamp and get eaten by a crocodile in the middle of the night.
Trains. We went through the swamp before. Either way, we can wait for her and see.
If she gets here too late,
Supposed to be here today.
we can...
It's like waiting for your Amazon package. And you're like, it's supposed to be here today.
It's supposed to be Prime! It's supposed to be here today! And you get that text, your package has been delayed.
Well, we don't have on the path. Do we have to backtrack at all?
Mm-mm.
No.
Well, actually, you haven't asked him, so. Yeah, sure.
Tal'el, will we have to backtrack at all?
No.
Same answer.
No.
It's like an act.
From here, we would head kind of takes a second, looks around, kind of points off in one direction.
I see. Alright, well, we can gather our things and wait for Adriel, and then leave when she gets here.
As long as it's not too late.
I'll just text her and see where she's at. Hey girl!
Hey, girl!
Hey,
We're waiting.
Hey girl, hey! We're waiting for girls night! Ooh!
Yes.
Alright, we can't collect any more NPCs. We are at maximum capacity.
If you, okay, no, you didn't ask for a perception check, so it's fine.
Perception check on Zoom.
Maybe he's in love with Adriel.
On Zoom? Sure. Go ahead. Perception check on Zoom.
In which one's better, insight or perception on people?
I see now. Thinking back.
Natural 20.
Natural 20, what are you doing?
Jasper.
Which one's better, perception or insight? For like a specific person.
If you don't choose right now, I will choose
Insight.
for you. You get the sense that as you guys are like, having this conversation, Zoom is kind of like looking concerned at Tal'el, and he kind of reaches up a finger and kind of touches his shoulder. You see Tal'el kind of nod. Were you talking out loud to your cousin?
About waiting for Adriel?
You didn't say
Yeah,
you
no,
linked-
I was.
You didn't say
I was
you
only
linked to it.
linking to Zoom.
You,
Well, I said it out loud.
You hear Zoom say, he's just worried about Jen.
Jen.
Yeah.
And I link that to Nora. I'm like, apparently he's
He feels-
worried about someone.
He feels the link leave and he looks panicked. All of a sudden, Tal'el looks up. What's wrong? He shakes his head and rubs his shoulder again.
And then I'm gonna link back to Zoom and I say, if we left a note for Adriel, would she wait? If we were to come back.
Probably. Please don't say anything about you. He swore me to secrecy, and I feel like he's gonna curse me if I don't.
I don't hear any of this.
No, I told you about Jen. I said,
Well, yeah,
he's
but
worried
you
about.
didn't say
That's all I
Yeah,
said.
that-
That's all I
yeah.
said. And I'm just gonna kind of like, I won't say anything. And then I'm gonna break the link for now, and I'm just gonna be like,
And then tell me about the note. Okay.
what note?
Can we just leave a note for Adriel and leave now? I just want to leave
So then I'm gonna be like,
only now.
we leave a note for Adriel. We'll come back in. Oh fuck! It's gonna take us even longer now. What? A week? We'll be back in a week. And if she wants to wait, she can wait. And if not, leave a note for us. And that way we can come back. If she's not here, we'll leave.
Yes. And if you
I think that's good enough for now.
That's good. That's good. This is taking too much brain power.
Why don't we go pack? I'll leave a note with. I'll leave one with Jacob and Wyatt, and I'll leave one with the main tavern keeper. Did we meet the tavern dude?
Yeah, Jake. Yep.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, we did.
You leave a note with her.
Okay.
Okay, I kind of like,
Right.
boop, as you're writing the notes, I'm kind of like, can you leave my name off of that if you don't mind?
And I'm just gonna put I feel like I don't want to put any of our names on there, but I'll put Zoom's name on there. I'm gonna be like,
Zoom.
just like I'll write out the note. I'll be like, we'll be back in a week, in a week's time, and then just like a Zoom. And then I'll give one to Jacob and Wyatt, and I'll give one to the tavern keep.
Jacob
Person.
takes the note and kind of suspiciously, again, kind of looks over at Zoom and Tal'el. And he takes the note. Best of luck. Gives you both a nod.
I just
Wyatt kind of gives him a slap. You're gonna be alright. You're smart.
Well, if you all are gone by the time we get back, it was lovely traveling with you.
You can see a smile kind of both curl on their faces, and they both kind of nod and smile back.
Maybe we'll do it again sometime.
And Jacob kind of brightens a little bit at this. Hopefully so. It's been nice not having to deal with doom and gloom all the time. Shut up. Pulls his hood over.
I'm gonna just kind of chuckle under my breath. And I'll be like, well, I kind of want to, I don't know what to say, so I'm just gonna, no,
Goodbye.
yeah. I'm just like, why the Nora wants to kiss you, goodbye. Just kidding, I didn't say that.
I know. Okay, so we pack, leave the note, and then we leave.
You all set off back through the southern gate.
I'm gonna say that we're all gonna walk. Because there's no point in riding because it's not gonna be any faster.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So, we'll all just walk. Warrior can just carry all of our stuff. That's...
He's a good boy.
I'm just gonna give him a scratch behind the ears and I'm like, I promise as soon as we can get horses, everybody will have their own. I promise. My little baby. My special boy.
And we're off
I love this so
You're kind of breathe heavily on the back of your neck. Kind of stinks a little bit. You probably had something
No,
else.
he doesn't. The horse's breath never stinks unless they eat onions. Don't eat onions.
We
You
do
know
that.
better.
It does a swamp.
I pull out a sugar cube and I'm like, freshen your breath.
You look so suspicious of it.
I don't travel with onion breath.
Rewarding is scolding.
Okay, how about I pull out an apple or something? I mean, I gotta
How
have an
many
apple.
apples do you have?
I don't know. I never checked.
I
Apples.
don't think you had any left.
Oh, well, I don't remember having any to begin with, so you're gonna eat this sugar cube. Don't have any more apples. I'll get some
Make an
next
animal
time.
handling check.
Natural 20.
Okay, you know.
You're gonna eat that fucking sugar
You
cube.
He
Yeah.
looks, and for a second it looks like he's about to do something rude. And you just give him this look. And he takes the sugar cube instead. Weighing his options.
As I'm gonna like kind of like walk by him and give him like a smack on the butt, just like a gentle
His
like
tail swishes on you. And you
our
all
little
head
love
off
connection.
in the afternoon toward some unknown destination. And that's where we're closed for tonight.
Okay, we finally made a decision.